Why, hello there. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time zone you are in the world, and welcome to a very interesting one-shot. We are playing the game of Vampire the Masquerade, but not 5th edition. Oh no, we are doing Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition, or V20, the cursed big green book you get warned about on all the Discord servers. And I will be STing this Sabbat one-shot, Kiss the Carpet, and if you recognize that reference, you're man, woman, or person of culture. So, without further ado, I'm going to go around and introduce these gorgeous chuckle fucks right here. And I'm going to start the person on my left, because if I'm aware the overlay thing on Twitch, we are doing the whole biblical correct ST form thing that I'm really enjoying. Anyway, we're going to start with the person on my left, which is you, Ash.
Hello, I will be playing Ciabella. My name is Ash, and I will be playing Clan Ravnos, she, they pronouns.
Moving on to the person below that with the red glasses.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma. I'm playing Judith Hanson, resident Samisha, and yes, that's how it's pronounced.
And the other individual with the red glasses now in the red top with the strawberries on them.
That's me. Hi, y'all. I'm Sarah. I'll be playing Eugenia. She, her pronouns for both my character and her. And I'm, what am I? Ventru. I looked at my sheet today. I swear.
Kudos. Now we move on to the individual in the reddy, burgundy, maroony hoodie.
You're muted.
You are muted.
Was just seeing if you were paying attention. And you are. Good job. I am Dustin Fletcher, and I will be playing Michael Jones, and I am a Caitiff Panders clan.
Yes, for those who don't know, Pander is the Sabbat name for the Caitiff, whatever you want to call them. Now we move on to the lady in black.
Hi everybody, I'm Samantha McLarty, and I'm going to be playing the friendly neighborhood Lasombra.
And
More or less.
More or less. And the gentleman with the impressive beard going on. Who are you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon, and today I am playing Stan Efford, the goodest boy gangrel.
Remember that. And
We're
here,
not the goodless of boys.
and I, in case you don't know who I am the Law by Night podcast guy. He, him pronouns, and I'll be being your storyteller for the evening, and various NPCs who are a variety of pronouns. Right. In case you are tuning in and have no idea what Vampire the Masquerade is, Vampire the Masquerade is a social political horror game where the players adopt the personas of various vampires. You may be more familiar with games with the Camarilla sect that uphold and clean onto the feigning concept of their humanity, or you may be familiar with the Anarchs who don't like the Cameron and the whole political structure of that and just go F you to the man and wanting to fight back. But there's also the Sabbat, which you could argue is the bloody flip side of the coin of the Camarilla. Now, being a political horror game, and obviously the mention of blood and violence and a whole bunch of other nasty things, there may be points in this game where it may get too much for you, so you can step out, just take a step back, or just stop watching entirely if it gets things too much for you. Your mental health is the most important thing here. No one's going to judge you for looking after yourself, and my job as the ST is to make sure that everybody here is happy. We have our systems in place if things get a bit funky, so if something suddenly snaps to a different scene, you know why. And being the Sabbat, who are far more visceral and bloodthirsty and a whole bunch of lovely unpleasantries, things may get a little bit more heated than usual. And there's nothing more for me to add, so I shall then take it over to the beautiful people who are hosting me. And without all that stuff out of the way, are we all sitting comfortably? Good. Then let's begin. Our world is overflowing with corruption, violence, and misery. Not a terribly happy opening to a story, but I've never been one to shy away from the truth. We do our part to survive it all. Most of us do a decent enough job of making our lives and those around us more palatable. Some actually make life better for us, whilst many just make things worse. But enough of such depressing doom and gloom. Tonight is a night of joyous celebration where absolutely nothing will go wrong, I'm sure. Tonight has us focus on a small pool of happy clubbers in the city of Hemingworth, a large, definitely not fictional city that sits on the northeastern Hampshire-Surrey border in the United Kingdom. Hemingworth is a city, a busy city filled with a thriving populace fueled on hot coffee, cheap food, and the arts. A rich history of deeply embedded within the city's culture, dating back as far as the 11th century. Most of it is harmless and safe, but Hemingworth is no stranger to controversy. But I digress. That is a story for another time. Let us zone in on Club Escapade, a medium-sized club on the outskirts of the city centre. The streets are cold and there is some mild rain bouncing off the tarmac. Various people of all shapes, colours, sizes and genders line up to enter, some more patient than others. Cigarette smoke and flashy drinks clean onto the air reminding you the weekend is here and it's time to get fucking shit-faced. Isn't that right, Eugenia?
Absolutely.
What brings Eugenia to this busy Friday night as you're all tightly packed into this line entering Club Escapade?
Oh, she's totally here to just continue forgetting what she came to the UK to forget. Just like, like bad breakup vibes. Just like absolutely the worst.
Totally normal behavior, just running away, forgetting yourself and restarting things, I guess.
Hopefully.
Now, did you come here on your own or did you bring friends with you?
I haven't really met anyone here yet, at least no one I want to talk to the next day. So I'm actually here alone tonight.
I don't blame this attitude. I mean, this is England after all, for which I'm terribly sorry. So bit by bit, I'm such an asshole. Bit by bit, you're all moving across on this line, as I said a moment ago. Some are more patient than others. There's like chat of excitement. It's this gritty, dark club. It's like, apparently this is a good place to be. And you get to the front of the queue. And standing by these big, thick black doors, there is a man in a very tight suit, black suit, white shirt, and a black tie. He's bald. He looks very moody and aggressive. He has like a little badge just on his jacket there. It's like H. Bratovich, Eastern European, Russian maybe. And he's just like ticking people off. He's sending some people away. And he gets to you and he speaks with a really heavy Russian accent, which I'm not going to attempt because I can barely do my own accent correctly. Name?
Oh, Eugenia. Bolek.
Eugenia Bolek. He's sort of scanning away, looking at this sort of clipboard in his hand. He's just scanning his thing. He's looking up and giving you a dirty, suspicious look. And what would he be seeing when he's, I suppose, eyeing you up?
He sees a 35-year-old woman in a leather pencil skirt, red blouse, and strawberry cardigan with dark hair pulled back in a tight, neat bun.
I wonder how long all of that will stay neat for. So eventually he looks at the list. He's sort of shaking his head. He's like, I'm sorry, you're not on the list. You can't come in.
Oh, are you sure? Maybe just double check it. Sometimes they misspell my last name.
Sort of lets that aside. His face reddens up very quickly. He's trying to restrain himself, and he's, how's it spelled?
B-O-L-E-K.
B-O-L. There you are. And he sort of forces a smile and just across his face. He's not one to smile. It's very clearly having to force his way, and he sort of leans across, pushes open the door. Enjoy evening, ma'am.
Thank you. Oh, and just so you know, if you bite your tongue a little bit when you go to smile, it looks a little more natural when you have to fake it. Have a good one.
You enter this club. There's a small aisle. There's a mirror on one side. It's not a terribly clean mirror. There's a combination of dust and spittle. At least you hope it's spittle. You move along through, and it opens up in this sort of as I said a moment ago, this medium-sized club. There's a whole flutter of lights going on, purples, pinks, blues, yellows, just a whole variety of queer coloured lighting going on. All sorts of dancers going on, sort of in the middle of this hall. Sevilla, what are you wearing this evening?
Sorry. I am wearing a short black dress, and my red hair is down and it's kind of curly. And I'm wearing a long white little cardigan, and I have a little flower headband thing.
It's a very cute flower headband thing. What brings you to Club Escapade on this Friday evening?
Well, work has been work, and I'm kind of exhausted from it. So I came out to get out for a bit and have fun.
And what does fun look like for you?
Dancing, drinking, making an absolute mess of myself.
Absolute mess of yourself. That sounds a little naughty. There you are, dancing, throwing away, just sort of getting lost in the music that's going on. And at some point, you sort of stumble into somebody. He's you can't quite tell the various lights going on. He's taller than you. He's slim. There's got this sort of floppy hair going on. He takes a quick look at you. He's like, "Oh, sorry there, love." Like with this sort of cheeky smirk going on.
She looks at him like, "No, thank you."
That's a strange thing to say. So I just didn't see you there.
Well, I'm here, and you can like go away. You're like in my bubble, and I need you not to be in my bubble.
It looks quite a cozy little bubble, though. Sure, there's not one more available. He sort of shimmies over very awkwardly.
And she's gonna shimmy away a little bit further.
He gets the hint, if only just, and he sort of shimmies his way over elsewhere. What about you, Mia? What brings you to the Club of Escapade?
Mia is very likely to have just finished a job and is considering her next adventure or next target, more or less, and just kind of blowing off some steam, unwinding a bit.
Next target?
Mm,
Do you call all your fellas that?
more or less.
How does Mia intend of blowing off some steam?
Have a few drinks. Likely, maybe dance. Maybe not. Depends, really.
So you're sitting up. I'd imagine you would be sort of sitting at the bar or like somewhere in the corner, just out of the way. Am I right in that assumption?
Right. Likely she's going to be alone for now. Definitely out of the way, out of trying to not really be noticed right now. She's still, it's early for her, and she's still kind of deciding what her intentions are for the evening. Yeah.
That's fair enough. You see the busy club goers going by, enjoying themselves. Some, despite being early in the evening, already had one drink too many. Just, there's no class in some of these people. Then again, Club Escapade has never been one for class. And you look over at one point and you see someone in a kind of similar situation of yourself. They're sort of standing against the wall. They're tapping away at a phone. Every so often they look up and around and tap back at their phone again. They clock eyes with you. They stare at you a little bit.
I'll raise my drink.
She smirks, carries on tapping on her screen, looks away, and walks off.
All right.
Stan!
Yes.
What about you?
So, Stan is probably at the bar, 3 well drinks in already for the night, even though he's probably only been here for an hour. It's been a long week for no particular reason other than the fact that he spent the last 4 days in a park just hoofing it without any kind of technology or anything like that. He considers himself a survivalist, and so he's probably here tonight just to reconnect socially. And he's a little bit too sloshed for that, but
that is totally understandable. Connecting with people again, usually it's the other way around. So I personally think that's quite an interesting thing. You're sort of sitting at the bar, again, all these different lights going on, people coming bar, just trying to get up to the bar, getting their drinks. And there is one woman who pushes past everybody, this big round woman with dreads going on, with a very aggressive looking look. You hear her shouting, you don't quite catch the words as there's a lot going on. The bartender sort of shrivels up a little bit and nods quickly, stops immediately what they're doing, and prepares this drink for this bigger woman. And she sees you, it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? Huh?
Your hair is very nice, ma'am. Very nice. You must have put a lot of work into that.
Yeah, it's an ongoing project, you guess. Just keep your eyes to yourself. He sort of walks past and sort of knocks into your shoulder. You sort of wobble a little bit in the stool.
I like try really hard to keep my balance and not fall out of the stool, and then just go back to my drink, and I like shake my head. Oh, what stick is up her ass tonight?
It's another Friday night at the Club Escapade. How about you, Michael?
I'll probably just, in the back alley, just waiting on the, see if anybody comes out, that, or makes their way there. I'm not really allowed inside, They don't typically like those, who don't look so fancy, if you will.
No. And I suppose a shivering wreck such as yourself doesn't do well for the whole club's image.
Just too many people. I don't like people.
Hmm.
So I just, they wouldn't notice me anyway. It's fine. But they got good food that they throw out. So I tend to find the scraps, and my mates, we tend to get around, and he looks down and kind of like looks over and like kind of scratches a rat that's sitting on his shoulder as he like puts a little piece of hardened cheese that's been sitting out for far too long, maybe a little bit of mold growing on it, and kind of gives it to him and takes a bite himself and just kind of. But sometimes I can get in, if I need to. Stick to the shadows and maybe swipe a few things from some pockets.
Does the little rat have a name?
Yeah. It's Butters.
Butters.
Yeah, Butters. Because I found him and he was wrapped up in some butter wrappers. He likes butter, but it makes him fat.
That is sweet. And just that I can just see everybody around me, just all their hearts are melting all at once. As you're sort of feeding this bit of mostly mold to this, right, you hear some sort of fumbling and shouting going on. Do you go investigate, or do you just keep yourself?
I'll do a bit of both. I'll investigate, and I'll make my way, sticking to the shadows, but I'm trying to see what's going on. Maybe I can slip in and, give a little bump accidentally if I need to. See what I can find in their pockets.
I think this might be an interesting time to make a roll of some description. So, could we have a dex and stealth roll, please?
What's the base difficulty?
6.
6. All right.
Yes, unless I say otherwise, 6 is the base difficulty, meaning that the 6s on your d10s are counted successes, 6 and above.
Got it. That's not too bad. Do ones cancel successes?
They're supposed to, but I'm going to say no.
Okay. That is 4 successes then.
4 successes. Well, you do manage to feel that you're doing a fairly good job of sneaking about, remaining in the shadows, as it were. You're sort of poking your head around, and you see that there is a very skinny person in rags with black hair that's sort of sticking out all over the place that they haven't washed, they haven't really combed it, and they're sort of holding somebody in a suit up against the wall. It's you recognize the uniform of the people who work here, sort of in these black suits, sort of and this messy individual sort of shaking them against the wall. It's like, we need to hurry this up. We're running out of time. Get a move on. And he sort of slaps him across the face and drops him on the ground. The person in this suit is just sort of, yes, sorry, Andrew, sorry. And he's sort of scrambling around and getting back on his feet. This messy individual sort of turns and looks around, and you see his eyes are just wide, like he's definitely snorted something, or at least he's extraordinarily paranoid. But you don't think he's seen you. He just seems almost in his own little world, and he sort of slithers his way behind a dumpster.
I've seen a lot of things on... Was he, like, holding him off the ground or just up against the wall?
Up against the ground, not, like, super high off the ground. He, like, the guy in the suit was sort of on his tiptoes, I guess.
Okay. And the guy in the suit referred to him as Andrew?
The messy guy was Andrew.
Yeah, was referred to as Andrew. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think Michael's going to kind of, you know, his curiosity is going to get the better of him, and he's going to kind of watch the guy in the suit walk back out of the alleyway or wherever he heads off to, and is going to kind of like go to see, because I know what's behind that dumpster. There's not really anything there, but is going to go just kind of take a peek to see if maybe there was something he missed, like maybe there was another, like a possible like tunnel system. I mean, he knows the underground. He knows the sewers. He moves through them pretty regularly, and so he's gonna make his way around the dumpster to see if he can figure out where he went, but try to stay unnoticed. Like he doesn't want anything to do with that guy.
Then I would require another dex and stealth, please.
I will do. That's pretty good. Is it two 10s to be a crit, or just one? Does one count as 2? Or 2?
2 10s count as the crit, and that becomes
then 3 successes.
3 successes. Maybe it's because your nerves are starting to get a little bit the better of you. You've just seen this bit of aggression going on, and who knows what would happen if they'd seen you. But you can feel a bit more tense, and you're being perhaps a little more paranoid and sketchy or jumpy. And you're looking around this big old dumpster. It's sort of like you think it might have been yellow once, but it's sort of like all rusty and tacky and nasty. You sort of look around to the left of it, you sort of look around to the right, but you even get on your hands and knees and sort of look underneath it, but you don't see anybody there.
Kind of like look in the dumpster.
Nobody's in the dumpster. Just a load of bin bags, and the sweet, sickly aroma of God knows what just hits you in the face as you open this lid up. It was teasing you before because it's sort of the general vicinity of it. But you open that big old grayish, blackish lid, and just smells like so many things are dying in there, decomposing. God knows what else, but there's no people in there.
looks, and he goes to close it but stops, and then kind of reaches in and grabs, pulls out what looks to be like a half-eaten sandwich, and he just kind of like dusts off some of the gunk on it and just kind of like sticks that in his pocket for later, and like, puts it down. That's fucking weird. All right. Yep, I think that's my cue. And he's gonna start, I guess, moving to just kind of like stay in the alleyway, but kind of just duck away to the side to just kind of like just watch everything, but definitely like go full, like just full hidden, doesn't really want to, and just kind of see, like watch that spot to see if anybody comes out of it.
Sure. Yes, weird things are happening, says the man who grabbed a half-eaten sandwich out of the bin. Now, not everybody here tonight is in or around the Club Escapade, enjoying themselves, trying to work out weird things behind dumpsters. Not that far away, somebody is driving en route to or past. Actually, Judith, what is your intention as you're driving about?
So I'm on my way home after another 16-hour shift at the hospital. And just occasionally, I like to take a bit of a detour, go through this part of town, and just kind of drive slow past the clubs and that, and remember what it was like when I had a life.
Memories of huge waves of nostalgia just sort of wash over your mind. Just what feels like a millennium ago, just you with your friends getting absolutely trousered at this place. The memories, the punch-ups. You probably had one messy adventure, one or two, maybe more messy adventure here. You look at the packed club, there's people, it's still busy place. You can still hear that sort of muffled, boomy music through the car as you're sort of stuck there in traffic.
I'm just gonna pull over and stop and look at it and listen to it, and just take a minute before I have to go home and get some sleep before another shift tomorrow.
No rest for the wicked, as they say.
And even less on the NHS.
Yeah. He says with the utmost resentment to certain individuals in power, i.e. all of them. Meanwhile, back inside the ever so busy Club Escapade, Eugenia, some about 30, 20 minutes you've been here. What have you been up to during this time? Dancing, drinking?
Oh, it's been tequila shot after tequila shot at the bar. I think she's up to 4 right now.
Appropriate answer. Yeah, Stan, you are just seeing this, I say fairly attractive woman just sort of drink after drink after drink. Would you say, Eugenia, that you thought you're hitting your limit? You appearing as somewhat intoxicated?
Probably, but that's what she's here to do.
It's fair. Stan, how do you react to all of this?
As she like just rapid fire these tequila shots, Stan is just kind of looking on in awe, and then gets up from his seat and goes over and he like tries to maybe not sit next to her, but like gets near her. He's like, barkeep, hey, let's have another one for both of us on me. You can put him away, ma'am.
I mean, you're sure? So you've had a bit. Are you sure?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's totally fine.
Yeah.
Another one.
Coming up, and he sort of turns away and he works away.
So, anyways, oh, by the way, what's your name?
Stan.
Okay, so Stan, I was just telling.
Irrelevant.
The bartender.
Oh, not irrelevant. No, definitely not irrelevant.
Oh gosh, you've told me your name twice. I am so sorry. But anyways, as I was saying, so we're at the company party. And after she went through this big, long speech about how, oh, no, we can't be in a relationship. HR would be all mad about it. No, then she goes and just stands up in front of everyone and says, by the way, Devora Morn and I, we're getting engaged. Can you, like, not even 24 hours after.
What a fucking twat.
Right? They were the worst.
Here you go, you two. Drinks. And the bartender looks at Eugenia. It's Brian. And he sort of gets back, moving along further along the bar.
He said Ryan, right?
Ryan? Rain? Maybe?
Ronald.
Yeah.
Reginald. It was Reginald.
Oh, yeah. That's much better. Even if it's not that, that's just Regal. So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Reginald. Anyway, hey, I'm Stan. Cheers.
Eugenia.
Just take it to the head. So, Stan is a local, by the way. My British accent is trash, so I'm not using it. But I'm gonna assume Eugenia does not have an accent, or does she have an accent?
No, she's Midwestern accent.
Okay. Well, Eugenia, you're obviously not from around here. What has you in beautiful, rainy UK?
Oh, so the whole breakup thing happened. And then my mom was on my case because I wanted to quit my job because I wanted to stop working for the person who totally trashed my heart. Can you believe that she didn't want me to quit immediately? But I totally did. And, I have all of this money. And then there was Eat, Pray, Love was on the Lifetime channel.
Oh.
And I thought, I should totally go find myself because, I'm in my 30s and it's just been corporate America for ever. And so I bought the first ticket that they had available and it was to here. Well, technically it was to London, but there was a connecting flight to here.
Ah, okay, yeah. Well, you know what? This place is better than London anyway. London's just full of a bunch of persnickety, up and ups. And, boy, you want to talk about corporations and politics. Oh, don't go there. Yeah, anyway, so, what did you do for work? It sounds like you got a shit hand dealt to you, honestly.
Oh, I was my ex's executive assistant for 5 years. We started in the mailroom together. It was great. It was really romantic until it wasn't.
That sounds awfully romantic. A real Romeo and Juliet story, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh.
As
We're just so pretty.
As you two bleed hearts to each other, so to speak, and form what I imagine will be a wonderful friendship. Mia, as I said a moment ago, some 20, 30 minutes has passed. If you remained in your corner in the shadows, or if you moved on elsewhere, what have you decided to do?
At the moment, I think I'm still in my little corner, but I have now turned and I'm watching. I'm looking around. This is a really good place for me to listen in. People get loose lips. They like to talk about things, boast about supposed wealth or people that they know. That's the information I need. I need to sort out who might know what or have really good connections so that I can potentially use them.
And could you roll for me perception and alertness?
Yes. All right. So that is going to be I've got 5 successes. No 10s or anything though.
Ooh. You hear all sorts of small things like interesting bank account details from business people in the corner. You hear sob stories about relationships from the other end, or well, a few feet from away from you. And that woman who was standing by herself, just tapping away at her phone, she hasn't moved either. And every so often that you hear her just muttering the odd word to herself, like she seems impatient. You haven't been able to pick out exact words that she's saying. It's just there's a level of frustration there. You also hear relatively close to you a woman with flowers around her head, just sort of shouting and raving because there is this Hispanic individual that just keeps following her.
Interesting. The one that is tapping away constantly, I'm going to keep a very close eye on that one, actually.
Zabilia, as I hinted at just now, that individual has started to follow you again because he's just bumped into you again.
Sir, I need you to like just stop and like just go away. Shoot.
Oh, love, come on, just one little
No.
dance.
No, Dad. It's stuffy in. Stay, boy.
Oh, I'm a boy now, am I? He sort of pulls a little face, rolls his eyes a little bit.
And she is going to try to make her way outside because it's stuffy in here and this guy is creeping her out and she is not okay with this.
Oh, come on, baby. The real party's yet to start. And a few seconds after he says that and you're walking away, boom, the power goes. The lights cut out, the music's gone, and you just hear people just shouting, just, oh, for fuck's sake. And there's a couple of shoutings and misgruntles going on, like people stepping on each other's toes, but it is total darkness. Michael, on the outside, you are still watching this bin, just sort of going about your own business. You can hear the muffled music from the outside just sort of cut off, and there's a few people shouting about it inside. Likewise with you, Judith, you see that the well, again, you hear that the music has stopped. The people on the club are like, outside queuing, they're sort of looking around, looking really confused as I'm talking. The bouncer at the front, bold, angry looking guy, sort of looking there, he starts talking to them. He puts like the little rope, I don't know, latch thingy against these poles, and he sort of steps away. And rather than going into the club, he walks round the side of the building. Is there anything that you wish to do, Judith? Are you still watching? Just going to drive away? What's going on?
Yeah, I almost drive away, and then there's just that little twinge of maybe something's gone wrong in there. Maybe there's something I can help with. People always want to find a doctor at places, and really, as tired as I am, there's no getting over that instinct sometimes. So I'm just going to turn the engine off and kind of head to the door, kind of see if she can bug ahead and see if anyone's going to stop her.
Well, the moment that the bouncer begins to walk away and he's out of eyesight, some people have just started to go home. Some people have ignored the rope barriers and they've started to go in and help themselves, which is a strange reaction. But then again, this is the UK. No one's stopping you from entering. It's just a bit more cluster because people sort of like those that are going and just like there isn't the formal lineup that the UK are meant to be really good at. Again, you go in, there haven't been any safety lights or anything that's gone, and it's just pitch darkness. There's a lot of shouting. There's people like shouting, it's like, you stuck my fucking foot. But there hasn't been anything serious for now. As regards with everybody else that's in the club, how do you all react to this sudden power cut?
This is weird. This has never happened. I'm going outside now. Now I can get away from the weird guy.
You're sort of moving and pushing away, and like people are just, hey, what? Moaning around, and you sort of step outside. Being in pitch darkness is quite a miracle. You haven't fallen over anything. You end up in an alleyway. Michael, you can see this woman sort of head out into it, and obviously with the description that was described earlier on. What about everybody else?
And you said that there's it's completely pitch black. Like there's no flood, like emergency lighting or anything like that that is on at all.
None at all.
Nothing, just darkness. Okay. Is there light from like the doors that are being opened at all?
Every so often, like there's a
Just, like,
little bit.
shadowed?
Just a little bit of light pokes through as the main doors go over. You saw at the far end of the club that there was a bit of lightness as someone exited that way. But no, there's other than that, there's no other real lights at all. Not even the light from the phone of the woman who was there. That's disappeared now as well.
I'm going to grab my phone and my clutch, and I'm going to turn my flashlight on my phone and find the back exit.
You sort of begin to point away. The woman who was standing there, not far away from you, is no longer there. You sort of begin to head towards the back exit. And that would leave Eugenia and Stan.
Well, this is rather atypical, not part of the programming. He like shuffles around in his pocket and pulls like just one of those handheld size like tactical flashlights and turns it on. And he's like, "What in?" It tries not to shine it in Eugenia's face, but accidentally does so.
Do you? Oh my gosh. Do you always carry one of those? Like that's kind of weird.
What? You never know when you're gonna find yourself in the dark.
I mean, you usually do so at night.
Yeah, but like, but the lights are out. Do we not need? I start like scanning the crowd with the flashlight.
I mean, we should. Is this not like a normal thing they do?
No, not in the slightest.
Is the bartender still here?
I turn the flashlight towards him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
While the bartender's dealing with his blinding by the light, she's just gonna reach over, take a bottle of tequila, and say, "We should go now. Come on."
I don't protest.
You both begin to slither away, and some people begin to get the idea of maybe turning on the light of their smartphones or cell phones to the Yanks watching and playing. Some people moan and groan that as you shine this torch, fuck. Have I missed it? Yes, I have. Michael, this woman has sort of entered in the alleyway now with a flower band around her forehead.
Do I see Michael?
It depends. Where is Michael hiding? Is he hiding at all?
Yeah, he definitely tried to, I think, stick to the shadows under a fire escape on the opposite wall where the dumpster and the back door to the club or side, whatever entrance that is, and was just watching. So yeah, he was definitely attempting to hide and not be seen.
In that case, could we have Michael, if you could roll for me Dex and Stealth, whilst you, Sibylla, could you roll, well, if you're looking for anybody, a Perception and Investigation.
I am looking for Perception at the moment.
The third one on the mental attributes.
I got 3 successes with a crit.
I'm so sorry. I'm still looking at the sheet.
That's all right.
You said it is the third one on the knowledge.
First one on the mental attributes.
So alertness.
Perception and investigation, or alertness, whichever one of those is high for you.
I'll take alertness just because.
That makes sense. Like an aware of other individuals here.
2 successes.
3 to 1. The difference is 1. You feel safe, Sibelia, out here. Michael, you definitely see this woman. She looks. Well, how does Sibelia look at the moment, having escaped that and the situation that's just occurred?
She looks a little overwhelmed, a little drunk, kind of wobbly, and she's going to take out her phone and she's just going to like drunk text her ex.
And what is it that she is texting?
It's all emojis.
Am I allowed to ask what sort of emojis these are?
I think, Storyteller, you would get the general idea of what time is it right now?
I would say it is about, at this point, about 8:30, 9:45.
It's a booty call.
It's fair. There isn't an immediate response, but there's a series of question marks.
And she would just go back and forth.
For sure. Do you interact with this woman at all, Michael, whilst this is happening?
No, he would just observe, just watching her. Does she have any like visible? I don't know, like if she have a purse or anything like that?
Yeah, she does have a purse.
I think he's just watching her for now. Kind of trying to gauge how drunk she is, but and if he can kind of move up to her and move away without being noticed, because he doesn't want to like just approach her as like the only person in the alley. Like, doesn't want to doesn't want to put that like possibly which would cause her to scream or anything like that. Like, he definitely doesn't want to do that. He's just watching, I think, at this moment, just kind of taking it all in and just observing, especially, and like his eyes keep darting back to the dumpster where he last saw Andrew go, and so he's just constantly like waiting to see if anything happens. It's just kind of what he's doing.
You're sort of sitting, squatting, whatever it is that Mike will do, and Sibelia, once more, that Hispanic guy exits the club, and he's there. God damn it! I didn't say that you could leave, and I just said that the party was going to start. He sort of looks at his watch, very expensive looking watch, and he goes, let's see, in 5, 4, 3, everybody inside the club, and possibly on the outside of the club, starts to hear a series of smashing, screaming, and pandemonium ensures. There is snarling, roaring, growling, and gunshots. Now, for the British populace, hearing gunshots is like, you're more likely to see unicorns than ever that happening. And something interesting happens with everybody that's here. Each and every one of you inside the club. So Judith, Eugenia, Mia, and Stan, as you're all going about your business, you see different individuals grab and throw you. Some of you get hit, but all of you at the beginning, you try and fight, you try and struggle, but these individuals are much stronger. They're laughing, they're cackling. As I said, there's all this pandemonium going on. Mia, that woman who was standing, texting away at her phone, she is the one that is currently sort of dragging you and having this sort of tuffle with you. Stan, the individual with dreadlocks that you saw earlier on who brushed into you, is smiling with this wicked smile. And you shine the flashlight in her face for a second, and her eyes are wide like cats. you see the pupils sort of dilate, massive and black. Like, this isn't a normal human reaction. Eugenia, with you, an angry, far more angry person with the bouncer from before is sort of moving you about, and he's wearing combat gear, and he has tattoos all around his eyes and his face, just going up there, and he's not a pleasant looking person. And you, Judith, I floss ripped my notes. Apologies. Yes. And you, Judith, a tall, slim woman with a naturally gaunt face, smiles, and when she does, her cheekbone just sort of literally poke out from her face. Moving back to the outside of the alleyway, Sevelia with that Hispanic individual, when he gets to 3 and you hear this shouting going on, you sort of turn naturally to have a notice what's going on, and he grabs you and he flicks his wrist and it all goes black for a moment. And then there's you, Michael. With all this that suddenly just happened, somebody grabs and spins you round, and it is Andrew with his sort of cackling wild smile. Didn't see that coming, did you? He sort of punches you in the face, and you're out. You're all dragged to a rather large van. Some of you are chucked in, some of you are pushed in, and the 5 of you are pushed into this van together. The doors are slammed shut. The people, you can feel that there are people climbing into the front, and it speeds away. Not like your drunken mate who's had one too many drink to drink sort of speed. This is somebody who is driving without any level of sanity. You feel every so often bumps that hits the front of this van, and you then feel the bump, that horrible bump that can only mean one thing that happens. You hear some sort of muffled laughter at the front. The 5 of you here are trapped in this large van. What are all your reactions to this?
I think we're all in the same van. Seeing Michael, I'm definitely going to make eye contact. Can we move around, or are we just kind of like...
You can move around. There's not much wiggle room, admittedly. You could try standing up, but given the speed that you're going, you would probably fall over instantly. You're all being thrown about, but there's enough room to walk about if you wanted to.
I would like to move closer to Michael then.
So yeah, I'm assuming like I come to consciousness in this van because I got punched and lights out, and then wake up. Now I'm in a van moving. Okay. Yeah, not bound or anything, like no hands tied, nothing like that.
None of you are bound, interestingly enough.
Okay. I think he's like coming to and like blinking as, you know, kind of looking up. I imagine like headache from being knocked out, possible broken nose. I don't know, wherever he hit me or whatever, depending on how hard it was.
Just square in the face.
Okay, yeah. He's just like touching his face, and just kind of looks up and like sees other people, 4 other people, and just like almost like tries to sink into whatever little bit of shadow there is there as he just cowers. As Mia approaches, he like doesn't even, it's almost like silhouette in the darkness as his eyes are adjusting and still kind of blurry from waking up, as he just like almost like cowers as she comes over to him.
Now. It's all right.
And like as she speaks, there's that little bit of recognition. Mia, what the fuck's going on? What? Oh, fuck.
I was actually just about to ask you the same question. All right, I just need to think for a moment. Lots of possibilities as to what is happening. I'm here, you're here, you've helped me out a few jobs here and there. Could be, that could be the connection. I don't know these people though, so that is curious. I'm going to say that perhaps we should... I'm going to take the moment to try to sort things out and just whatever happens, follow my lead no matter what, okay?
And he'll nod. Are we in like the back of like a van, or are we in the back? Is it one like where there's like the two double back doors that open up?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks. Storyteller, I would like to roll willpower if possible, to see if he has enough wherewithal to stay, or if he is going to try and run.
You may certainly do that. You could also roll your courage.
Courage, right. That's a thing in V20. Yeah, well, we can do that as well. Courage is somewhere on the sheet.
Roughly halfway down to the right.
Oh, yep, got it. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do courage, because that's only 3 die, and that makes more sense. 3 successes. He will, you see, Mia sees, like, his eyes dart to that back door, and, like, his hands start to fidget, and but looks at her and just nods.
Don't do it.
What?
It feels like we're moving way too fast for that.
And he just, like, I trust you, I promise, I won't, but he is going to, like, as far away from anybody else as he can be. He is just, like, pushing himself up against the wall, like, pulls his hoodie up, pulls the hood, like, up against him, and he is just almost, like, cowering.
This is a very frightening situation, just especially with how it went. You were watching that bin for ages, and he still managed to sneak up on you. You're in a van with a load of other strangers. Mia is perhaps suspiciously calm. What about the other 4?
Did you guys see it? What was up with that lady's eyes?
Is this like the kind of, like, did you like pay for that? Like, is this like one of those escape room type things? Like, are these actors?
I'm not an
I
actor.
don't think so. I'm not.
Well,
Well, I
no,
mean,
did you
kind
like
of.
pay to, like, people pay for this sort of thing? You know, it's like a thing. Well, at least like it is in like Chicago, but like
Wish I was
I don't know if they
getting
do that
paid
here
for this.
too.
I'm with her. I'm not getting paid for this.
Anyway, is everybody all right? There was a woman in there. She looked like she'd hurt her face. Is anybody else hurt? You in the hood. Is your nose broken, or does your face always look like that?
He's all right. He'll be fine.
Storyteller, did my bottle of tequila survive?
This is an interesting question. And I think we're going to play a little game within the game. I call it odds and evens. In my hand, I have a black D10, and I'm going to roll it. You're going to say odds or evens. If the number corresponds with what you said, then fate will be in your favor. Otherwise, well,
We'll go with odds.
odds. An odd number for an odd question. Nah, your tequila bottle was fucked.
I'm gonna offer you a drink, but the bottom broke off of it. Sorry. Okay, so like, are you all like from here? Like, where are we heading? Hey, excuse me. Can I get off this ride? Like, I didn't pay the admission.
You sort of reach up and sort of tap in on the side of where the driver's seat would be. And as a response, there is a wild swerve to the right, and you all sort of shunt over. If anybody has a stamina less than 2, you fall over.
All right, so curiosity has me a bit. Who are all of you? Clearly, you are not from here, or even this country, it seems.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. Where were you born? Where are you from, darling?
Oh, where was I born? I was born in Ohio, but I lived in Indiana for a very long time. But recently, I've been living in New York with my ex. But anyways, that's a really long story. Hi, I'm
all
Eugenia.
right,
A tragedy.
That's all I need to know. Fantastic. Pleasure to meet you.
Stan, hi. Eugenia, you know we can use that as a weapon if these people are kidnapping us, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if that was against the rules.
No, yeah, like hold it
that.
up threateningly,
Okay.
like so they stay away.
Any of you from wealthy families who have, I don't know, important connections, political, not political, mafia, anything like that?
Piss poor,
I mean, my
unfortunately.
mother's and like
No.
my mother's a college professor. Like, it's like community college level, but it's still like she's still a professor.
Prison?
Very important.
Anyone? Do you have family members in prison? Or have you ever been to prison? No.
No. So there was this really weird time that it could have almost happened, but it didn't.
I almost got detention once in high school.
Oh,
I
dear.
always got detention in high school.
Really? What are you
Yeah.
doing there?
I never paid much attention.
Oh.
It's a long story.
Hmm. Even more curious. And I'm going to move back over towards Michael, and I'm just going to whisper to him and just, all right, so, I have no idea as to what is going on, because my first thought was we all had to have some sort of connection with somebody that I had scammed at some point, but I don't think that that's going to be the case. Any ideas from you, dear? You're muted,
You
babe.
No, the fuck would I know? I don't, like, how the fuck are you all just so calm? Like, everything's fucking fine. Nothing's fucking fine. We've literally been thrown to a fucking van, and you're all just, like, partying like it's the fucking Saturday night. The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm gonna take his like arms and just turn him to me. He's like, I said, be calm. This is not going to help any of us, darling. Not at all. All right, take a breath. Take a moment. We're going to figure it out. It's going to be okay. You trust me, right? Yes? Mm-hmm. All right.
In our defense, it is Saturday night, and we were just partying.
Oh, are we
Maybe
under
some of
arrest?
were.
No, they don't just throw you in a van like this under arrest like that. No, this does not happen like that. All right. I need to think.
Hey, what about you, ma'am? Are you a doctor? You're wearing scrubs. Wait, no, you'd
I'm
be wearing that
stripped,
coat.
Just for a look.
Oh. It was like
Yeah.
cosplay or something?
I'm a surgeon, darling.
Oh. Okay.
Surgeon, what do you do? And so I'm going to point at Eugenia. What do you do?
Oh, I'm an administrative assistant, but I recently got promoted to executive assistant until I totally left my job. It's fine. It's a long story.
All right.
Your hair is really pretty.
Thank you. Surgeon, administrator, corporation. You, flower hair girl. What do you do?
See, that's a bit of a question. That's a hard answer.
Okay, what have you done? What profession-wise, skill, talent, performer, actress? What?
We'll go with the latter. Let's say performer.
Okay.
sorts.
All right. And you, sir, what do you do? What have you been doing? What is your?
Oh, me? I'm a
He has a flashlight.
well, yeah, but like I'm a naturalist. I do like survival stuff. Like I like to go out in the woods for days at a time and live live off of the land, right?
So you can essentially do a lot of tracking, planning, mapping out things.
Yeah, and
Figuring
anything
escape.
most skills that you would need to know to like live on your own in the wilderness. Yeah, I'm good at that.
All right, this makes a bit more sense. Perhaps my thought is.
Wait, what
my
about you? What do you do?
Current assessment, getting there. My current assessment is that perhaps there is somebody that has paid close enough attention to all of us that whatever it is that we do currently is useful to something that they want to achieve, a job, so to speak. You've seen the TV shows like
Right, like in the cinema,
know,
where just a random group of people get picked up.
Oh my god, is this like
Precisely.
Taken?
Not like Taken, but more like what is that show? Leverage, I think, is a really interesting one.
Never seen it.
I don't have
TV show.
cable. Sorry.
Oh, fucking Christ. All right. No, okay. So essentially, we all have skill sets that could be very useful in any kind of espionage or heist situation. So perhaps that is what all of this is about.
Do spies usually need people to file their paperwork alphabetically?
You,
I mean, I can do by
okay.
like date too, but
I mean, there's a possibility that whatever company you worked for could be a target, or somebody that you were close to in the company, and that's what you're.
Oh, maybe somebody's actually going to get back at your ex, Eugenia.
I mean, that doesn't seem like something that like someone at a Christian publishing house would do, but like maybe.
If it's political,
I've
it
met
very
many
much so
Christians.
could be.
Oh. I mean, there were some people really upset over the quality of the Christmas gift last year, but like
I doubt it's like that, but more so perhaps it is something. It could be political. It could be an extremist situation. There's no telling. Or it could be your publishing house. You said, perhaps it is something to have to do with a client of yours or theirs, whatever. Either way, they might think that you have some sort of inside information, and that is why you have been chosen. I don't know for sure, but that fits far better than just a random kidnapping, honestly.
Is he
I mean-
okay?
I'm just going to tap him. Tap Michael. Are you good, right? Still with me, yes?
ST, I have a question. Does he still have the mouse?
Do you still have the mouse, I wonder? Odds or evens, Michael?
We'll go with odds.
You still have him.
And it is a rat, not a mouse. But yeah, you just see him. He's like bunched, like arms crossed, like pulling into himself. I even think like knees up, and you just see him like down, like almost like nuzzling something.
If I notice the mouse, I'd like to go into my purse if I still have it and pull out a cracker.
Odds or evens?
Evens.
Ooh, spicing up a little bit.
Yeah.
For some strange dumb luck, you still have your purse and you can provide said cracker.
Cool. I'm gonna give the mouse, the rat, the cracker. Here you go. He looked hungry.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You just carry a pet rat around with you.
Staring. He doesn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Not the chatty type. That's totally fine. That's fine.
He's a bit shy. You'll have to excuse him. Extreme circumstances like
Trauma?
this. Little.
Trauma. What?
Extreme circumstance trauma. Whatever you want to call it. Just
I checked my pockets to see if, like, did they, like, like, clear our pockets or anything? Like, obviously, Sibelia still has her purse, so do we have any of our belongings on us?
If you held anything in pockets, they would still be there.
Okay. I have, like, a multi-tool in my pocket. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. It's like a Swiss Army knife. But I get comfort that it's still there.
For sure. And I wonder how long that comfort will last. There are so many different questions that need to be answered. will they all be answered, or will the events that unfold just add to the questions? And I think this would be a perfect opportunity to take a few minutes break. Hello again. You are joining Kiss the Carpet, a Vampire the Masquerade 20th Anniversary Edition one-shot, where our players are going to be, well, roving around the Sabbat. And with our misfits here have some very interesting priorities, shall we say, to put it nicely, as they're being tossed and turned about in this van that's driving far too fast, feeling bodies hit the van, rolling under the van. Eventually, it does come to a stop. More like a screeching stop rather than gently parking. You're pretty sure it hits something on the way there as well as it parked. For a short second, there isn't any. You hear like there's movement at the front. You hear people getting out. You hear laugh and cackling. You can also hear more panic noises of distress, like screaming and muffling. There's some hard impact, muffled, of course. But it doesn't sound like the way you are is particularly pleasant. And the doors fling wide open and...
Oh, the bottle. Eugenia, hold the bottle up.
Oh, does anyone want it?
I'll take it from her.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab Michael's hand, or rather his wrist, and just hold tight.
Do you
The
think
door-
someone's gonna come by and turn on the AC?
Weird priorities, as I said.
It is really hot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tend to have that effect on people. Anyway, the doors swing wide open, and there is a very aggressive bald man covered in tattoos. His face is covered in tattoos, wearing combat gear. And he opens up. He looks at you, Stan, with the bottle, and he looks you square in the eye, and he says, "Put that down." And without hesitation, you think, "Yeah, I will." Why am I holding this? Is the most sensible thing.
Right.
To
In
be
fact,
doing
I
right now.
toss it towards him. I like not throwing it at him, but I throw it to him.
Why does your face look so weird?
That's rude.
He
What?
stares.
It's a question.
He stares at you, and he's pulling a face. "Get the fuck out now!" And he steps away.
Stay quiet, Michael. Don't say anything.
So
Give them
mean.
nothing.
I'm assuming that you all get out calmly, or as calm as you can be.
Michael will get out. He's staying really close to Mia, almost trying to hide behind her.
You all get down. There's a bit of a step down, and you don't really recognize where you are. You're in a woods somewhere. You know that the city of Hamonworth is sort of surrounded by woodlands, and it's a bit difficult to tell where you are. But there have been some lights that have been set up at various different points. There's a circle way over there. There's a circle over there, and you're now all being marched towards this bald, tattooed guy, and a few others join. A black woman with fuzzy hair just sort of materializes, and I say that she's just appears, slithering from the darkness. Mia, you recognize this woman as the woman who was tapping away at her phone previously. Michael, that Andrew fella just appears, and he's just sort of hopping, bobbling along, just occasionally just jumping around you, taking full advantage of how skittish and nervous you are. The bald man just grabs him by the collar and just smacks him in the face. Just fuck off, you got things to be doing. What's everybody thinking as you're all being marched along in this dark nothingness?
Mia seeing all the lights, and we're in the woods, and after hearing what Stan has said about his specialties, this is solidifying my thoughts, and if permitted, she would just right, who's in charge? I would like to talk to whoever it is in charge of this operation immediately.
The bald guy just sort of laughs loudly. The black woman who was the card previously, said, "You'll talk to them sooner or later. Saffron isn't here at the moment."
Are we gonna become mutants?
Is that like your manager? Like, I don't think I bought a ticket to this. I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
I didn't
the
sign any
ball-
waivers or anything like that.
Yeah.
The
Do-
bald, the
Go
bald
ahead.
person who's sort of marching was like, "Shut the fuck up! Speak when you're spoken to."
Stan
And
is
he sort of slaps you behind the head, Eugenia, with quite a bit
Oh.
of force.
Hey, don't.
How rude.
I take back what I said about the redhead being rude to you.
You do realize I can fucking break your fucking fat neck right now. One more word, and I. No, Brick. Leave him. We have a job to do, says the woman
Right.
with the fuzzy hair.
That is what I need to know. What is the score? Somebody, please. Just, I would at least like to know that much.
Stan is like kind of looking around, trying to get an idea of their bearings, like looking up into the sky, see if he can see any stars, if he can identify like the type of trees that are around, like any kind of landmarks.
Could you give for me a perception and survival? A difficulty 7, purely because it's other than the lights around you, it's pretty dark.
Okay. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. Well, you reckon that this is you're still on that Hemingworth edge border, so you haven't gone that far. It might have felt long with the journey. You weren't too sure how fast you're going, but other than that, you can't really tell. It's just deciduous trees everywhere.
Okay. I just make a mental note of that. I don't say anything else. I'm not trying to get my fat neck snapped.
Sound advice. You all march to the center of one of these ringed, circular light display thing that's going on. And lined up in the ground are sort of, I guess, graves? Rectangular holes in the ground. And you are all forced and physically maneuvered and manhandled to stand in each of these. Sevilla, the Hispanic man, returns, and he's not smiling at you this time. In fact, this is the first time the whole evening you've seen him, he's not looking so creepy. He has a very serious look on his face. You can see now under this light, the floppy hair is black. He occasionally smiles at you, and he's like shining bright teeth, and you see that some of them are fangs. Judith, the very interesting looking woman from before, has returned. Again, tall, slim. Well, at least she's not so slim anymore, that you can actually see her sort of rib cages sort of poke through a little bit. She's got just a thin line where you see her spine and a bit of flesh. She's still smiling that horrible, wicked smile. She has like a bob, a bit similar to Mia's, but it's not, but with like a little point at the fringe rather than just the whole bowl cut thing going on. And she's just looking.
All right, I know an excellent guy who can sort that out for you.
Oh, don't worry. I did it myself. I'm rather fond of it.
Well, different strokes, I suppose.
The bold, punchy man in the combat gear is standing in front of you, Eugenia, not smiling, just his arms crossed. You notice, you're sort of looking at him, and you notice that he's armed to the teeth with pistols, and there's a grenade. Like, this man's not fucking about.
Right. Can we go? I think I want out of this experience. Again, I didn't pay for the admission to be here.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
Stan, the large, round woman with the dreads going on, she's got like bits of twigs and feathers. She too has returned, staring you down, almost as aggressive as the bold man who was addressed as Brick. And she sort of, you all actually see this woman's big eyes, these big cat-like eyes. You notice that her ears are more like cat ears, but one of them has like a huge chunk taken out at the top. You sort of staring you.
Oh, you again with the cool dreads. Hey, those are some wicked contacts.
Contacts. Yeah.
Are we? Wait, is this some kind of like survival retreat or whatever? I didn't bring a fanny pack or anything.
Shush, little cub. Shush. Mia, the black woman is standing in front of you with a very serious face. She looks a little uncomfortable in the light.
I'm gonna look at her and just say, "This isn't exactly a job, is it? It's retribution. The completion of a vendetta. Isn't it? That's what's happening."
She smiles. Yes and no. Whatever happens, just know it's not personal.
It's always personal.
And Michael, there is Andrew, that wild, fuzzy hair, messy hair, just wearing himself in rags. Looks just as ill, just as tired. He's just sort of staring at you, kind of mimicking your posture in a way, but rather than looking towards the ground, he's sort of staring at you with these big, wide eyes, just shaking as if he's cold. It's okay. Make all of that go away. Where's Saffron? He'll be here soon, Andrew, says the woman with the dreads.
Is that guy, the Spanish guy, still around?
Yeah, he's standing right in front of you with the rest of your kidnappers.
What's the thing with your mount?
Oh, this?
Yeah, that.
It's my teeth.
Did you get like those? Are those like custom? Because I have like a vampire cosplay that I want to been doing for like so long.
You'll see. You sort of stand there a little bit. You try and perk conversation, try and work out what's going on. And each instance, somebody shuts you down. And beyond, on the other side of these mounds, somebody appears. Like one moment there's nothing there, and a moment there is somebody there. Although somebody is implying that they look remotely human. A unpleasant, baldish, goblin-like creature, in a similar sort of like tattered robes and rags of a hood, appears with long, twisted green ears and a nose that sort of flicks up like a tick mark, and just sort of looking at all of you. Ugh, this is what you bought? Ugh, really? Really? The black woman with the fuzzy hair speaks. You said bring the ones from the club. The Camarilla have a strong footing there, and I suppose it has to do. Beggars can't be choosers after all. Sure, Bert won't mind anyway. So,
Wait, come on. I'm not familiar with. I think you have the wrong person here. Honestly, not familiar with that one. I don't think that Pretty sure that's not one of my jobs. I don't think that I.
What's a Camarilla?
Yeah,
I
are
thought you
you
said
the
Camilla.
manager here? I'd really like to speak to whoever's in charge. This isn't like I think you have the wrong people. None of us like signed up for the interactive like Tony and Tina's wedding experience in the woods.
Of course,
so-
none of you signed up for this. There wasn't a list. We don't care who and what you are. There isn't a grand reason why you're here, other than we are fighting a war, and we need recruits.
I don't do well in war.
Wait,
What's the pay?
we're getting drafted?
What's the
I'm pretty
pay?
sure you can't do that. I'm an American, so I'm just gonna leave. Okay. Thanks.
I
This is
don't
so much
think
fun.
your nationality is the most important problem here.
I can absolutely be bought, and but I would require the little one over here to assist me in whatever it is we're doing. Mouse is a good kid.
You want to learn what's going on? Well, in all of good time, you'll learn. All right, my fellas, as your pack priest, do it. The individuals that are standing in front of all of you rush you. And one by one, almost in unison, but there's a slight delay with all of them, they grapple you and they toss you about. You're trying to naturally fight away. And they all bite you on the neck. And for an instant, it's really painful. It hurts. You've just been bitten. You feel these teeth just sink into you. And then, oh my God, this is like the best fucking orgasms, euphoric experience you have all had. And you, despite the fact you're having your blood and your life essence just sort of draining away from you. And you feel something, as the life is beginning to drain from your eyes, you feel something that's sinking back in. You feel alive, yet dead. Cold, yet hot. And a nasty, twisted creature sort of snarls and retorts inside your cage. We are hungry. Our blood, so much flesh. Can you all smell it? This voice that just turns and twists inside. All of you. We must feed, feed, feed! You all come to. Not entirely too sure how long time has passed, but you're in darkness. You feel mounds upon mounds of earth just there. And assuming that those of you awake are wanting to get out, I require a strength and brawl from all of you, please.
One success.
3 successes.
I did not. Oh, there you go.
4.
One success on my
One
one die.
Same. One success.
So a load of
But it's a
three
10.
3 successes, 3 ones, 4, 1. And what did you get, Judith? 2. Okay. Mia, you are able to get out of this mound of earth first. Like, I'm assuming you're quite frightened by all of this, but you've been in situations like this before, possibly, or similar. And you are managed just to heave and pull away at this earth, just with a newfound strength that you haven't really felt before. You manage to claw out a bit covered in dirt, and you hear laughter, cackling, and there's some more screamings that are happening in the distance. And again, that woman who grabbed you is standing there with a smile and just watches you just struggle and come to your feet. Those of you who got wands, not really able to shift the dirt very much, whether it's because of your own fear, whether it's because that and your lack of strength. You're sort of panicking, scrabbling away, kind of like a puppy that needs to go outside to do their business, but obviously far more serious. 2 success. You're making a little bit way, and the 3 success, you almost made it. So with the exception of Mia, who has gotten out of her mound, could everybody roll for me another strength and brawl?
It's a 1.
No successes.
Oh, wow. No successes. 1, 2, 3. Judith and Stan, you managed to get out of your mounds. Judith, just before Stan, again, caked in mud. The woman is just sort of laughing. And her face, or at least bits of her face, is sort of flapping about. Like, her face isn't so much one consistent layer, but just like, I don't know, like curtain flaps that are in the wind just flapping about. Stan, you are greeted by the woman with the dreadlocks who's sort of growling. But you think there's a smile there.
God, not cool. I'm claustrophobic. What the fuck was that? Why am I so goddamn hungry?
Can I go over? Would I be stopped if I tried to go to where I saw Michael at?
Well, if you were to go over there, I'll tell you now that somebody would just put their hand on your shoulder just to stop you.
No. You don't understand. He is very useful.
Then he'll find his way out, the woman says. You'll come through. They always do. And can the remaining individuals roll another strength and brawl?
1 success.
0
5.
success.
That's a 0.
So 1 success, 0, and what did Michael get?
No successes.
Okay. I will move forward time a little bit because I feel there's a bit of a pattern going on here. The rest of you are all waiting for Sevilla, Eugenia, and Michael to. Eugenia is out of the other of you three is the first one to get there, but it's very clear that you are struggling. That okay, this isn't some weird wacky experience. It's not really like a weird escape thing. The whole club escapade. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe the fear has just taken over and you are just desperate, but not really just. And eventually, you do manage to break free, and the goblin-looking woman is sort of laughing at your flustered state. And Sevilla and Michael, a similar sort of thing, but obviously you are far more flustered. You all do eventually manage to get out, all very flustered, like asking what the fuck's going on, why am I hungry, blah, blah, blah. Sevilius, the goblin woman speaks. Nice of you to all join us through. Now.
What the fuck?
You are all hungry, aren't you? I bet. And he gestures towards her right. And there is sort of like a curtain or bit of cloth draped over. You ready there? Right. And the voice you recognize, all of you, well, most of you recognize as the bouncer from the club. And he pulls it away, and there are people inside there. And he's entering this cage with these people. These individual, like you, people, they're all flustered, scared. And he opens up, he begins to undo a lock at the top and a level lock at the top. Obviously, you're all like making flustered noise of what the fuck's going on, what's all this. The bouncer draws a knife and very quickly, with a very interesting speed to him, like a blink and you miss it sort of thing, he slices all of their necks, and instantly your whole demeanors begin to change. This hunger that you feel is beginning to bubble a lot more as these people begin to drop dead, grasping at their throats. You hear this creature now. There, look at all that flesh, the blood, gristle, mortar. Feed, feed! And the next moment you know, you find yourself in this cage, caked in blood, a limb, a body part. Some of you are probably feeling flesh between your teeth. And I require everybody now for me to roll 1d10.
7.
9.
10.
What did you get, Michael?
Oh, 9. Sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Could you all write that number in your blood pool? And it seems, from what I picked up, that you all managed to get you don't feel as hungry anymore. But at the same predicament, the people that you were kidnapped with are all caked in blood. Your mouths painted with this stuff. It's quite clear what's happened. But you don't remember how it happened.
What? What? What?
I would very much so appreciate it if somebody would explain what the fuck is going on now.
The giggling, cackling of Andrew, the fuzzy hair.
Not
the
you,
old
laughy
messy.
one. Not you. Anybody
I-
but you.
I do love it when they get all frightened by this. Don't you think it's great, Mandy? The black woman speaks. Yes, it's always amusing. Come on, head back. Saffron will explain exactly what's happening now.
I think Stan is probably like, contrary to him trying to be, I wouldn't say refined, but act normal. Like he's like a predator, like just kind of crawls out on all fours first and then stands up.
An interesting display.
Is the guy who turned me anywhere near around?
Yes, he is leaning on, very suave on the cage, on the outside, eyeing you up.
Mia will get closer to Michael, not saying anything. She's kind of in the mentality of she's been in situations not as fucked up as this, but similar. And she knows like that, like in her mind, like you don't break the character that you have created for these situations, or things can go very poorly. So that's what she's trying to maintain, that facade essentially.
Michael's just staring at his hands covered in blood and just at the body under him, and he's just not moving. Like he's just like almost frozen in shock almost.
I will go up to the guy that turned me and just start screaming at him. What am I? What is this? And she will just like push like him.
He will sort of smirk, rolls his eyes, and shrug. He flicks his teeth at you again and nods at you to get out of the cage.
I want to speak to whoever's in charge here. Do you know how much this fucking outfit cost me? Like, this is never coming out. What the hell?
The Hispanic individual sort of pokes his head around and is like, you can get whatever you want after all of this. If you survive. Come on, love. Get out.
Yeah, whatever. I'll send you the bill.
Gonna grab Michael's hands, seeing him like looking at them. I'm just going to put my hand on, like, pushing his hands down. Now's not the time to dwell, darling. It's not like you haven't been in particular situations before. Let's go.
I just ate somebody.
No, could be drugs. You don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on just yet. We're going to reserve all assessments until we have all the information.
I've blood on my mouth. What? Mia, what's going on? Why?
I don't know what's going on. That is why I am telling you. We are not making assessments until we have more information. This is what we do. This is what I do. This is what you've helped me do for a long time now. Can we please? I need you to get your shit together. For us to be able to remember the grand escapes, right? For just get your shit together. Otherwise, that's not going to be an option. There are too many variables at play, and we don't know them all yet. Got it? Are you with me?
Sure.
Right.
I don't really have a choice.
No, you don't. But when given the opportunity, take the chance. Make your escape.
He's gonna march along.
You all leave the cage in one fashion or another. Some of you quite stroppy of having perfectly good Co's ruins, and a lot of you are quite frankly terrified. And you return.
Sorry, counterpoint. Are there any bodies still in the cage at all? Because if there are, she's still hungry.
Well, I suppose if you could assemble the body parts together, you might make most of the body.
Yeah, she's just gonna grab something big and start feeding again.
Interesting. You find as you like grab a limb and you're sort of like still chewing and gnawing at it, just like kind of like getting the last out of a Capri Sun. It's just, oh, it tastes so good, but it doesn't really do anything. It's not really, it's not, you need something more, but it's not giving you that sustenance that you need right now.
Throw it across the cage and kind of stomp out after everyone else.
You return back to the mounds with dirt that's all over the place now, and this goblin-looking woman who you think it was referred to as Saffron is sort of rubbing the little grimy, warty claws together. I'm sure you have lots and lots of questions, but per tradition of ours, you have no rights. Not yet.
Why? What are we?
This little ceremony, you're what's known in our little order as shovelheads.
Never fucking call me that ever fucking again.
The whole process of this shovelhead is what we have just done is buried your former life, your humanity, and from the ashes rises vampire.
Oh,
Those are
say again, please.
What?
Just
like the movies?
one more time, please.
Like
That's
Count
the angle
Dracula?
you're taking with.
May have dirt in my ear still. Again, please.
As you're all giving those confused noises, the people that bit and presumably buried you are so all in their own ways chuckling. Andrew is probably the most hysterical over this. You heard that right, my fellow Cainites. Yes, in a way, we are like the vampires from the movies. In any way, the vampires from the movies are like us. Cainites is the term we prefer to use. And we, whilst you were buried, we had a little visit. And whilst there is something I want you to do, we will have to move over there. And he points to the left. So, come on. Sort of waddles along. You're now aware that the way that they're moving, there's a bit of a hunchback sort of thing going on with this goblin woman. Again, you're all pushed and shoved to follow Saffron. You're marching along in this woods. You begin to join other groups of people, some of them, of like you, confused. Like, I want to speak to the manager. Oh, what have you done to my clothes? Where's my fiend? You see some individuals who are similar to Saffron, that they are beginning to twist and morph into these grotesque creatures. And you're fairly certain at some point you see the oddball person here who has a third eye, some weird horror film experience. And the more that you walk, the more shouting and calling out that you hear. There are people who are very invigorated by all of this. As you're led to sort of a massive circle. A massive circle where, again, people who are frightened, who are scared, the people who are like your kidnappers, who look very calm and collected. There's well over 50 people here. And the two things besides all of this that seem a little out of place. The first thing is a massive, well over 10-foot tall wooden crate. And you hear these gurgling, snarling, and it's thrusted about. There are like 4 people holding onto these chains. Just 4. Despite this huge thing being shunted and moved about. And you're sort of standing there. This is like conversation, things going on. Your captors occasionally just antagonize you, just push you a little bit just to see how you react, wanting to get a reaction out of you. But then at some point, a pool of blood in the center of this circle begins to form and materialize, and up rises a figure of a strange bluish, like a duck egg color. Kind of looking more like a viscous fish. Not quite liquid, not quite solid. I've forgotten the word for it, begins with a V. Sort of individual whose flesh is like really unpleasant to look at. They look more aquatic than they do human. And as he begins to form and materialize, there is a lot of cheering and shouting at this individual who seems to carry and demand an aura with a lot of respect and fear. And you can sort of gaze by your own reactions, and a lot of other, there's this split thing. There are those who are clearly terrified by this weird bluish thing here. And there's a lot of people who respect them. And he speaks. Good evening, my sons and daughters of Cain. Ah, yes. So many faces I recognize. So many that aren't here. And so many that I do not recognize. The new faces, the several heads, the whelps. Good evening. And he looks at you five as he says that, and he sort of looks around a bit more, and his head sort of extends a bit more, his neck extending just a little bit too far to be anything remotely natural. There are many things that we must do tonight, and time is of the essence. The morning draws near. The 200 years I have been in torpor. You have done well to look after me, to watch over my torpid corpse. But many of you have failed. Many of you have died permanently, have faced the final death. The city of Hemingway once belonged to us. The brothers and sisters, it now belongs to our nemesis of the Camarilla. And at the mention of that name, there is roars and shouts of disgust and anger. Some of them are quite guttural, bestial things, like maybe this goblin woman that was starting to get to a point that maybe that this isn't some sort of amusement ride. A traitor among us rules their faction. A pawn of the antediluvians. Traitor, this Prince Alexandria. We are numbers far too few to tackle her and her puppets, but not forever. We will return back to the city. We will claim the east side. The Sabbat, the sword of Cain, will forever be something to be feared in everywhere again after tonight. He sort of maneuvers himself over, kind of slithers almost. You see like these little claw-like feet just dig, and almost caress and dig up the earth, and strokes the barks. My latest creation. They will never know what hit them. And there is laughter amongst the crowd. And there's not as much laughter as there were these guttural roars. So obviously some people into this thing. The black priests, the doctors, you will lead your factions into the city. And he gestures towards his left. You know what to do. Take the several heads. You know what to do. Make these puppets of the Camarilla suffer. And as he finishes that, again his body begins to twist and retort. And it grows even more. His sort of liquidy, fluidy arms become wings of a bat-like nature, sort of crack and slap. Something's obviously going wrong here, and his face begins to twist and turn. His nose sinks inwards. His mouth scrunches up like a child's drawing of a cabbage. His ears grow, become this weird fleshy individual is becoming more and more like a bat. A good 12 foot tall and a massive, large wingspan. There's some people in the crowd who scream and they begin to run off. And the crowd don't make any effort to stop them. They just sort of laugh at it. This bat-like entity sort of screams, flaps its wings, and it's just a load of people in front of you just sort of like fall over the gust of wind. And at that, the 4 people holding on to this box with these chains, they let go. And the sides of the box reveals an equally horrendous, fleshy abomination. You could probably work out that at one point there were people involved with this, but there's nothing human about this now. This great big fleshy mound begins to charge forward, and the bat-like individual flaps these wings and soars. And at that instant, everybody just cheers and shouts, and you all are forced to run and follow this fleshy mound. What are the thoughts that are running through your minds as this all happens?
Toto, we're not in Kansas anymore?
Why didn't they just tell me? Because I would have totally just said yes.
This is definitely the Winona Ryder version of Dracula.
Stan is kind of in awe of everything that's going on, and then whenever he has to start running, he's like, "Oh, okay, we're moving now. What is happening?"
Judith's just like, well, we all knew this was coming. This is where I finally go mad. But at the same time, she's kind of looking at the monsters, and part of her brain is taking notes.
It's the sleep deprivation, Judith.
Michael's just, it's not real, 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 it's not real. And just eyes closed. And as, I guess he would have to be shoved to be moving again. Otherwise he just tries to hide.
Oh, you're being shoved.
Yep.
Like, you're like, not like a gentle nudge of encouragement. You are being pushed.
If Mia is close to, I'm pretty sure I'm still close to Michael. I'm gonna get as close as I can because there's a lot of running and kind of it's probably not super organized, right?
Oh, not at all. Like,
Okay, fantastic. I'm gonna just feel like I'm just gonna like to him be like, now's the moment, love.
And yeah, I mean, he's gonna, what's this, like, the area we're in look like? I mean, like, we're all running, but are we like running through the woods? We're running through the streets? Like, what are we?
you are running through the woods, and it doesn't take long for you to realize that you actually run back into the streets. That, oh right, we were in the fucking nature preserve. If your characters have been there before, I'd imagine some of you have been out there either for like a family picnic or something like that, because it's nice and pretty. But no, you all run not that far out from the woods and back into the city. Was there anything else that you wanted to add to that, Michael?
He's gonna try and flee, find a way to just find somewhere to hide. He's terrified, and he just wants to disappear.
Mia, like, when she says, now's the opportunity, she's just going to say, before he tries to flee, she's just going to also add, I meant to do this a second ago, but to add a rendezvous point. And then she's going to continue and kind of slowing up. I'm also observing and kind of watching to see what happens.
So, Michael, are you going to attempt to flee away from all of this?
Yeah, I mean, he'll like kind of using the people to his advantage. He's used to it, and he'll like he's moving in the direction, but is gonna start to peel away and try to like just get out of sight. Whether it's hitting at an alleyway or getting to another tree or whatever comes first, just to where he can just not be seen. And
Sure.
And more so, he would like to actually try to make his way into the sewers.
Into the sewers. In that case, could you roll for me Dex and Athletic, or Dex and Stealth, whichever is higher for you?
It will be Dex and Stealth.
And that would be a difficulty of 5, just because the whole, the mass of bodies that you're obfuscating yourself in. And I say that as the literal term rather than the power.
That's not a good roll, but make it more fun. 3 successes.
3 successes. You saw, like, begin to, you, as you said, trying to run with the crowd, but when you see the opportunity, you begin to run, and you run into Andrew. Say, "Oh, careful!" And he sort of pushes you back into the crowd.
He just stumbles, and he doesn't lose his footing, but he continues moving. And I think he'll even try again to go up instead of down if there isn't like a good way to get to the sewers. He'll try to hit like a catwalk or something to go up, still moving in the same direction as everybody, but maybe a little less, more subterfuge in the sense of I'm just getting a different vantage point, but I'm still moving.
Sure.
Mia is still trying to kind of, I'm moving with, but I'm also kind of trying just to watch to see what exactly is happening.
Could you then, Mia, roll for me a perception and alertness or awareness, whichever is higher?
Mhm.
And for those who are watching, not quite too sure the difference between alertness and awareness are. Alertness is the awareness is observing those of a supernatural nature, whereas alertness is the more mundane. And as both apply here, seemed appropriate.
Six successes, 2 of those were 10s.
Wow. Mia certainly has her shit together. Because you, whilst all of this is going on, still trying to work out what the fuck is a vampire, what's the canine, what's all this going on, you notice that the huge mass, as you get further into the city, that the individuals who embraced you are sort of circling around you, and they are guiding you away from everybody else. And you notice the same sort of happening with these other groups of people, that they're beginning to break off, and it's becoming to look a bit more organized. And eventually, when the crowd splinter enough farther and farther away, everyone else, well, if you're all paying attention, you'll notice that the crowd's beginning to split off also, but you're the first. And you 5 are directed into an alleyway with Saffron leading this smaller charge. You reach to the end of an alleyway where Saffron stops, spins round, and taps her heel on a manhole cover. We are going to play a little game here that's going to help out with everything that's going on. It's called a rat race. Want to know the rules?
Do we have any other choice?
I'm guessing it involves us going down there.
You do have a choice, but there are consequences to your choice. And yes, and she hits the manhole cover with her foot, this time making a loud ding. Yes, we're going down there. Down there is a very important individual and some... So, for the first time, she stops smiling, looks a bit more cis. Slaves, I guess. People, actual people, who have been forced and manipulated to do manual labor down here for one of our enemies. You are going to find them and kill them.
Who's the enemy?
The enemy is... You'll recognize them. They are... Well, recognize them. You'll know what you find when you're looking for. They look like me.
So,
there you go.
Ugly as fuck.
You feel Eugenia hit on the back of the head. You look round and it's the bald guy again. Saffron just sort of chuckles. Yes, yes. But I like to think it as my vampiric nature just oozing in all of its beautiful glory.
Vampires are supposed to be pretty.
Yeah, when do we meet Gerard Butler?
Wait, have you guys not seen the movie Nosferatu?
Oh no, silence.
Can Mia tell that Michael is not having luck escaping?
You actually see Michael has stopped and is actually like, for the first time, actually kind of perks up. And as the other two are like arguing over Gerard Butler and vampire movies, Michael's moving to the manhole cover.
Mia will slightly smile. I know this is where like this is his thing, and she is trying to see if he can succeed in doing this. No offense to you, Michael, but you're my beta test here.
You don't know that.
Nope, you don't.
So whilst this interesting conversation of butlers and films and your kidnappers are just rolling their eyes and not even trying to stop you talking, you all see Michael just sort of scutter forward. Saffron moves the clawed foot back, and Saffron says, "Oh, good, someone who is eager at last." And Michael, you are able to very easily lift the mat. It's heavy for sure, but there's no resistance.
He'll actually, if he had his stuff, he actually reaches and pulls out a small little crowbar, uses it, lifts it up, slides it over like it's natural for him as he puts it back in his back pocket.
Yeah, you would have those things on you. So yeah, you move out the way and you begin your descent.
And he just slides down. He'll look at is Saffron the Nosferatu goblin? Okay, that's Saffron. Okay, yeah. He'll look at her. She right?
Yes. She.
Okay, and he'll look at her and go, "I'll find him. I'm really good at that, but I'm not a killer." And
I've got you, darling, and I will move forward and follow suit.
Well, look at the bright side of things, Eugenia. At least your outfit's already ruined, so...
Zippers. Ew.
At least I get away from that one. She gives a dirty look to the one that keeps hitting her in the head.
Brick doesn't do anything. He just sort of glares at you angrily.
He is a bit of a prick.
Right.
A bit. So what do we call our what are they? What are you guys? You'll just make us? Are you our makers? Vampire daddy per se?
No, please.
Ew, I'm
please
not
don't
calling them
say
daddy.
that.
They do not deserve that.
No.
At this, Judith is just rolling her eyes at them and just heads for the manhole cover and just looks at Saffron like, and when we find these people, once we've done this, we can go, yeah?
Sure.
Fine. She'll head on down.
And Saffron will look at you as severely with answering your question. All will be revealed depending on how well you do with this. If you survive, then you'll know everything that I'm willing to tell you. Otherwise, let's see what happens.
As soon as I'm down in the manhole with Michael, I'm just gonna. This is your area of expertise. What do you think? What are you wanting to do?
If it's construction that we're looking for, there's a few areas it could be in. But
So you're wanting to continue then? You do want to do this? You don't want to?
I don't think I have a choice. But
Interesting.
If they're doing something that affects things down here, then it's affecting my friends, and I want to stop that.
All right then. Let's be on our way.
Stan would jump in next, and I'm assuming that it's not very bright down here.
There is some illumination. There's some small lights that line the ceiling of this circular, smelly, disgusting sewer. It's not great, but you can sort of see your way.
I would probably thinking to myself that it's so dark in here, and having realized that in the charge lost my flashlight, rip flashlight, probably involuntary activate Eyes of the Beast to just be able to see better. Not be doing it intentionally whatsoever.
I'm just going to remind myself of the expenditure for that, unless you have the answer there.
I think it's
no
free.
roll is
Yeah.
no roll is necessary. Takes a full turn to complete. Okay. Cool. So, I'm presuming everybody has now made their way down into the sewer one way or another. Cool. As you all make yourselves down there, you all sort of like getting your bearings, still very flustered, and you see Stan, who's sort of looking around, and his eyes are blood red. Like, no pupils, no whites, just all red.
Ooh.
Has your face always looked like that?
Like what? Is there something wrong with my face?
Your
Your
eyes
eyes.
currently match my shirt.
What?
Yeah,
I'd-
they're red.
Pull out
You're
my
so
phone and
red.
turn the front camera on. And then get scared and probably drop it in the sludge. Fuck! Ah! What? Oh.
But you look really cool.
What? No, it's terrifying.
I mean, this whole thing's kind of terrifying.
I could see
When-
everything, though.
Take the lead.
Sure.
I'm already gone. Like, I'm already moving.
No, it looks like shit. And I take off after Michael.
I'm assuming that Mia would be by Michael's side. Cool. Could everybody now roll me perception and investigation or survival, whichever is higher, at a difficulty 7, with the exception of Stan, who has difficulty 6.
I am friend of the underground, so I'm at a -1 difficulty on all things involving the sewers and underneath the city.
All right, then you have the difficulty 6 as well.
Rolling perception and what? I'm sorry.
Investigation or survival, whichever is higher.
Okay.
2 successes.
2 successes.
3.
0 and one of them's a 1, so I think that's a botch.
So what was that? I didn't catch all of that.
No successes, one of them's a 1, so that's a botch, right?
Correct.
5 successes.
5 successes. One of those was a 10.
The dynamic M Duro seems to be on the case, sort of in their zone. You're able to, with you're sticking next to Michael. You're sort of following the lead, or perhaps the other way around. Because you've worked each other, you kind of know the dynamic. Rather than you assume, what is the dynamic here when you're investigating?
Mia is just essentially she's looking around, partially trying to help him find whatever it is he's looking for, but also trying to find ways of escaping, should that be a thing. And at the same time, kind of whispering to him about, like, keeping that in mind. No matter what's found, there is still, like, she's doing the thing that she does, where she is trying to make him be in trouble first to see what happens.
Michael, you watch as Michael starts moving and, like, gets to certain points where he just doesn't, like, he turns left, turns right, goes down, turns right, like almost like he knows exactly where he's going. You'll see him, like, get to an intersection or a 4-way area, and he'll kind of, like, stop, put his hand on the wall, and just kind of, like, almost feel for a second, and then we'll make a decision. And then you also see him, like, he stops, he looks, and you see him, like, looking around, and then he'll see, like, some rats, and they're moving in a direction, and he is going to turn and go the direction that they are moving away from.
That's an interesting idea. And remind me, does your, because I don't have your sheet to hand, does your character have animalism?
I do. I have 1 dot in animalism, and that's why I have feral whispers.
All right. Sorry, one person got a botch. What the other successes? I had forgotten.
I got 3.
2. And what did you get, Eugenia?
2 successes.
2 successes. Well, you are able to feel your way around and mostly keep your footing. Just as the best you can, squinting forward. You can see the others around. So you're able to follow on and keep up. But Judith, however, isn't so lucky. Trying to follow and keep up, you actually slip and you fall into the sludge and you hit your head on the way down. It was a bit of a hit, and you're covered and you're trying to swim or wade your way through. And I would like you to take 2 points of bashing damage.
I can roll to soak that, right?
Yes, you can.
Am I able to help them up?
Yes, I'd say that you notice them fall in.
She'll put out her hand.
Yeah, I'll absolutely take it.
And she'll help you up. You okay? I mean,
Is any
yes.
of this okay? It's been a long fucking day, and at least now I'm glad I couldn't get my clothes out of the fucking lockers. Ugh. Let's just go.
And she'll follow behind Judith.
You will make your way through this sort of leading, following those that seem the most competent in doing so. And you will begin to notice there is a more increase of rats. You hear some discussion sort of clapping through the sewer network. It's panicked. It's distressed. They know someone's coming. But you can't see anybody yet. How do you wish to proceed?
And I think another thing that Michael does, especially when Judith falls and like kind of glances back and sees that not everybody is like moving as fast as he is. He's like almost like bounding off the walls, like off the sides where it kind of slants up to keep himself out of the sludge itself. I have cat-like balance as a merit to help with that. And as he does, he'll kind of reach in and like kind of pull out Butters, who has been kind of hiding in his hoodie throughout this whole process. I guess he probably, or if he did or didn't when he was embraced, I don't know, but I'm gonna assume that I have Butters with me still.
I'll be nice and say that you still have Butters. Still,
Okay.
if he was still within your hoodie, then
yeah,
he would still be there.
Yeah, he stays kind of back up here, like around to where you can kind of like nuzzle around the neck, but he'll kind of pull him out and just kind of, all right, if they get lost, just make sure they follow. And he'll say this, doesn't realize it, but he's actually squeaking like a rat, is what Mia hears. He doesn't realize he's doing it as he just kind of looks down and makes sure that they follow, because it looks like they're not used to being down here. They're used to being up there, you know, where it's noisy and loud and not very, you know, nice. Like it is down here with us.
You know that thing
Okay,
can't
Dad.
really hear
And he
you,
just kind of like
right? You just-
stops, like he hearing the understanding. You know, it's not the strangest thing that's happened today, to be honest. And
You're telling me?
right, just make sure they keep up. And
Okay.
And he'll kind of let Butters go into the water, and he'll kind of shout back over his shoulder to those that are not really keeping up. Just follow Butters. He'll show you where to go. And
You hear a series of dirty rats squeaking.
and you'll notice Butters because he's got half his body white, where most of the other rats down here are not white. It's from all butter. And he'll just keep moving. He doesn't know if that's true or not. That's just what he tells himself. And he keeps moving. And you said that eventually they'll get to a point where we hear voices. But we can't quite make out what they're saying, or we don't see anybody yet. So sorry.
You hear bits of what's going on. There's like the tones are distressed. You hear that they know that someone's coming. That you're hearing like bits, like there's many voices talking. It's all clapping around this stone archway that is the sewer network.
Yeah. I think he'll stop
and kind of look towards Mia. I think I hear something. I hear voices.
Good voices, bad voices, lots of voices. 1, 2 voices. What
And
kind of voices?
He's gonna close his eyes and try to listen harder, and unknowingly activate heightened senses.
Yes. Does that remind me? Does that require any roll or blood point
It-
expenditure?
It is a reflexive. Yeah, it is a reflexive action to activate this ability. No roll or other cost is required.
Makes sense to me. Sort of like you sort of like hunched over or standing or whatever, sort of listening. There's all these reverberated noises. You're trying to focus. It's like something like a switch is clicked at the back of your hand. Everything just sort of opens up. The water flows a lot louder. The dripping sounds like you're listening right onto the ground. But more importantly, you are listening to a lot of this conversation. It's like, what are we going to do? They're going to be down here. We don't have a bed. Just shut up, all right? Just do what I say, and then we'll be able to get out of here all in one piece, all right? Good. Right, pack the shit, get a move on. We don't have all night. You know we don't have all right. All right, yeah. Sorry, it's all boss.
Sounds like there's 2 of them. They're talking about, like, they know we're coming, or they know something's coming. I don't really know, but the one more gruff looking sounding guy, another one a bit more nervous, kind of like me, a little bit more. I think that, I mean, they know we're coming, or something's coming.
But only 2. You only hear 2.
That's
One like you, one not like you.
It sounds bigger, like has a much growlier voice.
All right. Well, 2, one like you, one a bit bigger. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, right? And I think we can manage it. However, option B would be that I think I saw an exit tunnel back a few bit. Option B, just in case. So what do you want to do? You going to kill someone?
No, I'm not going to kill anybody.
No.
No.
So what are you going to do?
Do what I said. I'm going to find them.
You found them. What are you going to do now?
I didn't find them just yet. I just hear them. But unless if I can get eyes, like I do for you, I get eyes. You know, I don't engage. I never engage. I'm not a fighter. But and then I'll go. You know, I'm home. I'm here with my family. And he like looks to a set of rats like that are kind of scurrying as he says family.
Oh, no, darling, no. You know that's not going to be safe for you to stay here now. You've got those things here, and up there they know things down here. And so what are you going to do? I'm very curious right now.
Wait, but hold on. Did storyteller, these rats are like running away from the direction where he's saying he's hearing these people, right?
Correct.
I'm also gonna activate Feral Whispers and try to talk to one of them. Just
What is it that
I just want to ask, like, how many people are up there?
a lot of the rats, they keep on running, but some of them turn up and look at you and walk away, but one of them actually puffs. There's 2 of them. There's one of those Nosferatu dickheads. The other one's got a ghoul.
Oh, the ugly ones. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, the fugly one's in it.
Okay, wait, hold on. Look, I've got an idea. Like, all your friends are running away. You can maybe help us out. And I'm gonna, like, will these rats to come pay attention to me by use of beckoning. So I've got to roll charisma and survival, DC 6. Remind me how, like, blood points can be used to... Can they use, like, supplement a roll, enhance it, or anything like that?
Blood pool, no, but you can spend a point of willpower to guarantee you one success if you think this is something that's worth spending a willpower point for.
Do I have to do that before, or can I do it after the roll?
You have to do it before the roll.
Okay,
You have to say that.
I will spend 1 to guarantee at least 1 success, but I'm still gonna roll.
Sure.
All right. 4 successes, so most of the animals respond by the definition of the book.
That's absolutely fair. Plus the one that you got with the willpower.
No,
It's
that's
actually
with the
5.
that's with the 4 or with the 1.
Okay. So as you begin to irradiate this charming persona to these rats, like, come my people sort of thing, like the rats that were running away stop and they just sort of pay attention. This kind of like awe for rats. I cannot believe I've just said that. And they'll just stop and look at you and sort of, the rest of you hear just like a series of all the squeakings at once are just behind you. And if you were to look, you would see we've got fucking mouse Jesus, rat Jesus behind you. All the rats have just come towards you.
I'm the Pied Piper, bitches. Yeah, so I'm just gonna I using feral whispers similar to what Michael was. I'm just gonna tell them that we need their help, and what we just need them to do is to go back in there. I know it's scary, but all we need is a distraction. Like, you don't have to get yourself hurt or anything. Just distract those 2 people that are in there.
So there's only 2.
Yeah, I will say that after I command them with the feral whispers.
I mean,
Could you give me a charisma and what's the one I'm looking for?
Manipulation and animal kin is what the book says to roll.
Then manipulation and animal. Okay, and then let's go with that.
Oh, that's a horrible roll. Oh shit. Okay, I'm gonna spend another willpower. I have 2 dice for that. Oh man. DC 6. All right. All right. That's with the willpower. That's 2 successes.
2 successes. Well, you managed to have some of the rats are just like, fuck you, and they begin to back away. But you still have quite a fair amount of the rats there. You still have a noticeable, commandable fleet, I guess.
Yeah. I actually think Michael's gonna see this and just kind of like tilt his head, understanding everything that just went on, and is going to try and assist, and because he is like sees himself as a friend to the rats, will kind of help, kind of seeing what Stan is doing, will just be like, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, join us. We can. Yeah, this is our home. Let's take them. Yes, this is yours, and we'll attempt to coerce the rest of the rat army with his feral whispers.
Then animal ken and manipulation, please.
if you want to get him to chase me, I can run in doing like the whole damsel in distress thing.
That is 4 successes.
The rats that weren't paying attention to him are now paying attention to you. That they're all like, fuck you. Woo, maybe we can do this after all.
Oh, what? Sorry. Okay, apparently I can talk to animals, and so can he. There's 2 of them there. One that looked like Saffron, apparently, ugly as fuck, and then another one that they said is a ghoul. I don't know what the hell that is, but
Like a ghost?
Like those things that you see like in like video games?
I'm sorry, are we going past the point where apparently we know this because you were told by some fucking rats?
The rats is the weirdest thing for you right now?
I could just understand them.
I'm with Isabella.
My
we
fucking
were just-
eyes are blood red.
Buried and 8 people and rat speaking
So that
is...
just means we should believe everything now? What, the
I
fucking
just said-
unicorn came through that wall, you wouldn't be surprised?
No, actually that would
Honestly,
be quite
no.
lovely right
Yeah.
now. I just impaled myself on my tooth.
Okay, wait, everybody, shh, they're gonna hear us.
Sorry.
We're
I
down
mean,
here.
like, I'm good with people. Like, if you can get the rats to chase me, I can try and make them think that I'm just, like, lost.
I like
get
the
abducted all
damsel
the
in
time.
distress method. That seems all well and good.
Oh, someone's gonna have to punch me in the nose first.
I can handle that. I'm gonna punch her. Without time to think about or anybody to object, I'm just gonna do it.
No fucking hesitation.
None.
Okay, well, that's how I explain the blood.
And I think while they're all having this, whatever this is, and all eyes are kind of focused on that, Michael's gonna just kind of start slinking away, and I am gonna use Cloak of Shadows and Unseen Presence as I start moving towards the area while they're trying to figure out what they're gonna be doing. He just goes.
Sure. Yeah, you disappear and you sort of slink away.
Okay, well,
neither of those require a roll. If I speak or do an action, I'll have to roll wits plus stealth to maintain unseen presence.
Mm-hmm.
back to the rats. Well, I guess that's the plan. Look, hey, chase her. Make it look natural. Don't like actually like aggress her, but like start like nipping at her ankles or whatever, and just like in general like make it seem like you're moving with her.
This is going to suck. Is there like a signal that I need to give you guys? Like, do I need to like chirp like a bird or something?
That is insensitive, but okay.
A series of weird animal noises would be great.
Please attempt them so I can laugh. There has to be some kind of brevity to this situation.
Moo.
Stan over here. Great plan, everyone. Great ideas. Fantastic.
Anyway, off with you.
Run, darling, run.
I'm going. Gosh, can't even freaking see. She'll start taking off as fast as she can down the hall. Are there people just like straight ahead?
Well, you're sort of running, and these being chased by these rats, and you don't see anything for a short while, but then it begins to lighten up, and you see kind of like. But there have been people that are living here. There's like a bunk bed, there's like boxes and things, and there's a person, normal-looking person, who's like moving boxes. And you do see a very round, large, bald, sort of a mutated pig sort of creature, sort of holding a rifle in their hands. And they both turn and look at you. And the pig-looking one just points the gun at you. Who the fuck are you? What are you doing here?
Oh my god, help. There's like, ooh, get them off me. Get them off me. Oh my god, where the fuck am I? Oh, ew, gross. Ew, what is going on? She will start crying, or attempt to. Actually, no, she won't. She'll attempt to cry.
Manipulation
This isn't gonna
and
go well for her.
manipulation and subterfuge, I think that would be.
Okay. Hang on. Subterfuge. What do I have? Okay, gosh, this is so many dice.
I was going to say you can spend a willpower point if you need it, but it doesn't sound like you need to.
6 successes.
6 successes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what happens. You sort of got crying at you, giving these old crocodile tears things. These rats start appearing. They're sort of like darting around your ankles. You're sort of like shaking them off, all being very, I guess, sissy would be a word some people would use. The person who was moving boxes like starts. He looks really sad by this. Like, oh no, go, shoot! And the rats they aren't moving. And so like, the pig-looking guy just like lowering his rifle was like, "How the fuck did you poor thing get down here?"
I don't know. Like, I was out clubbing and like I met some people, and then next thing I knew, I woke up and it was just, oh my god, this is so gross.
Oh, you drink, get spiked, love. And he sort of begins to put away his rifle, like puts his rifle down on the ground somewhere.
Like, I want to go home. Where am I?
You're in the sewer network beneath Hemingworth.
I I'm in a sewer.
Yeah, that's what I love. You know, Trevor, don't you want to do... Oh, she's pissed out of air. She won't remember. Do you need anything to eat, drink? He points to like a fridge.
Oh my gosh, do you have any like pizza rolls or like, I don't know, like, do you have like anything like junk food? I could just like really use something.
The guy failing to chase away the rats was still there, persisting, like you go off sort of thing. He brings you a box with like a half-eaten piece, and there's some slices left. I was going to save some. Just here. There's like a few slices in there. They're warm, just.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And she'll whistle her best bird call that she can.
Well,
It's either that or a moving cow pun, so you know.
Mia's just gonna go,
sounds like our cue.
I believe so. After you.
I would say at this point, whilst all this is happening on Michael, if you're just going in that direction, this would be at the point where you are starting to arrive, and you're just arrive. You see all this like the makeshift beds and whatever, and you hear this sort of, or whatever the whistle is.
I mean, he's staying in the shadows, or he is staying obfuscated. He's not attempting to do anything but watch.
And the rest of you, what is the plan here?
Where Mia is gonna hang back, I'm gonna let Stan and Sabella go for Eugenia, and I'm just kind of I'm gonna follow, but I think not realizing it, I think that I'm going to use remind me if this is how this works because it's been a minute since V20. But shadow play kind of is the stealthy kind of hidey in the shadow thing on this one, right?
I shall just quickly try and find that for you.
I think it is. Yeah, it adds the stealth.
Right.
Right. I would unknowingly activate that to kind of. I'm kind of hiding and I'm watching to see what is happening. And then I'm gonna hold any other action from there. I'm learning and observing.
The rest of you there, you sort of see the shadows around you, round Mia more so, twist and retort as if they're streams on a marionette.
Not creepy at all. Just gonna keep.
So you do weird things with your eyes. She can do weird things with the shadows. And you can apparently you both can hear animals, which is really cool. She's gonna pretend she's gonna see if she can do something with her eyes. Ash knows that they can't, but she does not know. Okay, does it work? Is my eyes weird and glowy and red yet?
You're both taking too long. You're leaving poor
I'm trying to see
sweet
what I can do.
Eugenia all alone.
Yeah, Stan is has gone at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what I
And
could do.
at this point, Judith is just tired and pissed and hungry. And she's just kind of stomping off up the sewer, just kind of doing something she doesn't know she can. And just kind of as she walks up there, she's just going to slowly turn horrid form on because, and just as she walks, just getting taller and more misshapen and arms stretching out and jaw kind of distending full of spiraled fangs and just muscle outside her skin and everything, spikes of bone everywhere.
That's an interesting anger response, awakening the Zulu form. Eugenia, this is a very interesting thing. You hear kind of heavy footsteps behind you. Four of you, Michael, Eugenia, the man who was introduced as Oscar, and the pig-looking guy. So you all turn and you see what Judith has just described, this horrid form, Oscar just sort of screams and drops the box, and the pig-looking guy goes to grab his rifle.
I would like to try to grab it if I'm within range with celerity.
Yes, you could definitely do. So could you do Dex and
Athletics?
you said you want Dex and Athletics, and add your celerity to it, which requires spending as many blood points as the levels that you're wanting to use.
Okay. I've just got one.
So if you so you add 1 die to the celerity.
3 successes.
3 successes. Well, just Eugene and Mike, you just see Stan just boom from that, just sort of dart through, and you are able to grab the gun just before this horrid pig-looking guy is like, "Shit, they found us! Oscar, leg it!"
Eugenia is gonna go after Oscar, shouting, "Oh my gosh, he's the one! He was at the club! Oh my gosh! Oh my god, do not leave me here!"
Don't leave me here! He sort of runs away with you.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to ask, what is everybody else doing? Stan's got the gun. Michael's sort of nope. And everyone else.
Can I put? So this is bad guy, right? Or we want to not be nice to him. Can I put him in a horrid reality?
Ooh.
Ooh. You let me just see what that does, because that sounds like one of the higher levels of chemistry, the unique discipline to the Ravnos, rather than an amalgam in V5. Let's see. Horrid reality. Oh, fix illusion. Rather than create hot and illusions, a vampire can project hallucinations directly into victims of mine. Vampire family. So what is the reality that you're wanting to do here?
Essentially my goal would be to get him to get stuck. Like he can't move, he can't do, like his worst fear has just been projected in front of him and he's being held in place.
Sounds particularly mean, but yes, you may. It requires costs 2 willpower points.
Yep.
And it's a roll of manipulation and subterfuge plus the victim's perception and self-control / instinct. Okay.
For 5 successes.
5 successes. You all see for a second the Nosferatu go to reach, but got to try and grab it back from Stan, but for a second he sort of stops. He begins to whimpers and he screams. He can't. He's not moving. He's not making any attempt to move. He's just sort of petrified, just stopped in place, and he looks physically weakened by it as well. He's tired, and it's just he's terrified. Basically, it's like something has just came over this individual.
Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, you're much bigger and scarier than us now. Are you planning on doing something? I don't want to have to shoot this guy.
Oh, before you even finish that sentence, I am just gonna punch her in the face as hard as I can, which right now is pretty damn hard.
Just for clarification, you mean the Nosferatu, not Stan?
Yes.
Okay.
Important point of clarification.
For now.
Then could you give me a Dex plus Brawl? And this power of Sibelius is effective in an entire scene. So, and as he is motionless, he cannot dodge this.
And you get a bonus damage level of discretion.
The Zulu form / horrid form boosts certain attributes. Also lowers a fair few of them as well.
Yeah. 6.
6. He is going to roll to soak. Attempt to roll to soak some of that. Didn't soak any of it. With this massive, hideous fist, it just clobs him in the face, and he goes flying and hits the wall. And the brickwork begins to, it bends inward upon the impact, and sort of drops, face down. He's looking up at you, Stan, still screaming, just unable to do anything.
What? How is he? What? He's alive? Shit! And I turn the gun on Eugenia and this Oscar guy fleeing, I'm assuming.
You can see essentially the shadowy moving in the same direction as Eugenia. And my intention is that as soon as I can, I'm going to issue unknowingly that I can do this, issue a dominate command to tell him to stop.
To who are you saying that to, sorry?
The one that Eugenia is chasing after.
It would require eye contact, and I say...
That's right. Shit, I don't have the V5 irresistible voice. Damn it. Okay, never mind on that. Arms of the Abyss, then?
That's always a good option. Very somber of you.
I will also try
I
to
forget, because with V5 you can do the irresistible voice, and you don't have to make eye contact to do a dominate, and so that's what I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And it's like, no, shit, wrong thing. Damn it. Okay, next.
I will also
Can I try and trip them to help?
Yeah, I want to try to take a leg shot all at the same time to cripple him. I'm not trying to kill him, but I want to slow him down.
You're trying to stop the person that's running away also.
Yes, yeah, aiming for his leg or something like that. Make it harder for him to run.
Sure. We'll deal with Nias first. You need to spend a blood point and roll manipulation and occult to determine how many of these arms of the abyss you can summon.
All right. All right, that is 7 successes, 2 tens.
And that is the number of shadowy tentacles that begin to warp and twist into something far more... I want to say aquatic, because I always imagine pre-V5 Arms of the Abyss as not just shadowy stuff, but metaphysical extensions of you that rise from above and behind you. And each of these twisted, shadowy darkness is sort of leaking this sort of black, shadowy goodness, about 6 feet long. So you could, if you're very quick, grab him.
They're essentially reaching out to grapple him. Yes.
Sure, then could you do for me a dex and athletics, please?
Of course.
And I'm just checking up because there are some weird, wacky rules of this now. Each tentacle is 6 feet, 2 meters. Usually broken. What is your dexterity currently?
My dexterity is shit. It's a 1.
Well, could you add another dot to your roll? Because apparently your tentacles have their own stats as well.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah. 2 successes, 1 10.
And that's a botch from Oscar. He's sort of running away, and it's all slippery and wet, and he trips, hits his knee, and he face plants. And as he does that, you sort of grab him by the ankles, and you sort of pull him back. He's clawing at the wet tar, just screaming, "Oh, fuck, get off me, get off me, get off me, Trevor, help, help, help!"
Somebody shut him up, please.
And Stan, you said that you wanted to take a kick, a gliding kick at him or whatever?
If I see him get tripped, I'm not gonna shoot. But I've got the gun is aimed at him, and it's clear that Stan has handled a firearm before, so it's like turning between the guy that was running and pig face guy. Not sure who I should be keeping in my sights.
Eugenia, when you obviously would hear, you probably see from like the corner of your eye or something, just this face plant, you turn and just being dragged away by shadowy tentacle, hentai magic, whatever, just being dragged away. What do you do in response to this?
Oh, well, that was convenient. She'll turn and walk back calmly.
How Ventru.
Michael, you're still like noping the fuck out in a corner in the
No,
darkness?
I think while all of this is going on, he's gonna be scoping out the room, looking for like documentation, anything that gives an idea of what is happening here.
Sure. Could you give me perception and investigation?
Sure.
Actually, no, wits and investigation I think is a slightly more appropriate here.
Okay. Same dice pool.
Stan just says, are these the guys we're supposed to kill? They say we're supposed to kill somebody.
I think so.
I guess
I'm gonna be. Can I still like be dragging this guy back, and like getting back? I guess to the other one. The others holding him up. Hold him up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everyone is dead. Can somebody please shut this one up? I'm full of hands.
I'll like take like something from my pocket and like shove it in his mouth.
Is he
Oh, shut
supposed to
up.
be dead? Are we supposed to kill him or take him back?
I
So, Michael,
She
how
kicks
many successes was that?
4 successes.
4 successes. You're sort of creeping around, like gently looking through things and carefully rummaging things around, and you don't really see anything of any value importance. Just clothes. Like there's a diary that's like, "Dear diary, today I did," but nothing of any great significance. It's all just like these 2 individuals are just living down here.
I'm gonna take the thing out of this guy's mouth real quick, and I'm gonna ask, why do they want you guys dead? I'm gonna tell them the situation.
Oh yeah, ask him about the slaves. There's something about slaves.
Something about slaves, and I can roll any kind of charisma you would like.
Well, it depends. How are you actually going to ask this person this question?
I'm taking the thing out of his mouth. I'm putting my fingers in his hair. I'm pulling his head up. Okay, look, and my foot is on his back. I'm gonna need some information. We're supposed to come down here and kill you guys, and that's cool and all, considering that we basically died tonight. Something about slaves, something about things. So tell me what's going on.
Could you roll for me manipulation and intimidation?
Can I argue for charisma? No? Okay. I say, can I argue for charisma?
I mean, that sounded a bit more menacing than it was polite.
True.
Can she get bonus dice because there's a Zulu who forms a Misi and the guy holding a gun at this guy?
I mean, if you were to focus your attention on it, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, I'd lower the difficulty if that was the case.
I'll just turn my gun and be like, look, dude, I got a gun. There's whatever that thing is that just clocked your boss. You should probably answer her.
That is 3 successes.
I was just about to say I'm going to lower the difficulty to 5. Does that change that at all?
Because I'm using manipulation and I don't have anything intimidation, so I have 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
So 3.
Right. Okay. So that would affect the difficulty factors. Okay. He's still whimpering. He's able to get some of his answer out. Slaves? What's slaves? Who are you?
Don't worry about who I am. Answer the fucking question.
I don't know nothing about slaves. And you notice at this point, an interesting stain just trickles down his trouser leg.
All right, what are we doing? We were told to do a thing.
I don't want to
There's a
just
lot.
kill them for no reason.
I mean, I don't think that we get to live if we come back without having.
Oh bloody hell! Can I try to? I have him wrapped like with the arms, and I would like to just all separate directions pulling.
Yes, please. You may. Why did I say that? I'm a fucked up person.
You're the fucked up person for saying that. I'm the one that's just suggested.
You're quite right. Sorry, I shouldn't. Could you give for me just strength and athletics and I
Can I argue brawl instead?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Now, interestingly, the tentacle also has its own strength and dexterity pool, and the strength is matched to yours. So, add that number. So, essentially, it's strength plus brawl.
That's a lot.
Mm.
Oh, I need an extra dice. I don't have enough. I'm going to have to reroll one. Hold on. I don't have enough dice.
That's a good struggle to have.
That's a lot. 6, 7, and 8. So that is 8 successes, and 3 of those were 10s.
Judith, remind me of your blood pool.
Mine.
Yours.
Currently 2.
As Mia begins to pull at this individual, joints begin to separate and blood begins to leak from them. And it does not take long for Mia just to basically just wishbone this individual and it's just torn, split in half, and blood just sort of cascades down from the torn half individual. And unless you are naturally going to go over there and start slurping that up, I would require you to roll your self-control.
I do not have a lot of that.
Same.
Although that was 2 10s.
Sorry?
2 10s.
So that would be when you see this display of like blood just drip and guts and gore just dripping from this individual, you immediately just hear that sinister snarling voices you've been hearing already. Just feel them. Go on. It's right there. Take it. Take it. But you're able to fight back those urges. Stan, you notice that Mr. Pig Guy is sort of beginning to gain his composure a little bit. He's not screaming as much, and he's able to move his joints a little bit.
Well, that was grotesque, but bang bang, I'm gonna shoot him.
Could you roll for me dex and firearms? And I will say, because he's still coming to, it'll be a difficulty of 4.
So 1 down.
So
4 successes.
A little warning next time to those of us in the splash zone. Gross.
As you're
You've been
saying
warned.
that, and as this exchange is happening and going on, you hit how do you shoot the once or twice? I'm actually not too familiar how rifles work.
I am also not either. Is this like a single shot rifle? Is it a what kind of rifle are we looking at here?
I'll let you decide.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna assume that since weapons are not very easily attainable in the UK, it's probably just like a hunting rifle. So it's just 1 shot until I have to like bolt action reload it.
Mm-hmm. I would say, because I've got no idea how these things work, I would say that you will just completely empty the round into this guy's head. He begins to try and fight back. He can't just and this noise is just clapping everywhere. It's loud, it's horrible, and most of you haven't heard, I'd say, have heard guns before. I'd imagine you'd all naturally just cover your ears, like, what the fuck was that? And just the guns that are happening. But Mr. Pigface, or rather what's left of Mr. Pigface, sort of begins to crumble. His head just sort of plops up from his shoulder, and it begins to disintegrate, crumple, and turn to ash.
So we just let the monster take over then, I guess?
I'm sorry, what?
Well, they're both dead now.
Mm-hmm. That's what we were told to do, and that is what we have done. Congratulations.
Bravo!
Oh shit!
The
God
voice
damn
of
it,
Andre.
that
just
voice,
appears.
that one.
Oh, you have done well. Ooh, Saffron will be pleased. Yes, Judith.
As soon as he starts talking, I'm just going to immediately swing at him.
Yes!
Because
Yes!
There's this massive.
I am in no mood.
I imagine that this is quite the sassy Zuluform backhand. It's like, and he goes flying just into the sewage water.
Oh, thank God somebody did it.
And I think that is an appropriate place to end our game.
As Michael is nowhere to be seen because he GTFO'd a long time ago.
Oh no.
Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Fun fact, Mia will totally sell you out later.
Oh, I'm aware. I have the expendable flaw for a reason.
Bro, never did I ever think that I was gonna witness somebody get wishboned by some arms of Aramin on the street.
Nope. That wasn't on the bingo card.
Oh,
Nope.
That was
not
like
at
the
all.
intention the entire, like I was like trying to get him to escape or do something, like to get Michael to escape or do something the entire time because I was going to use that to my advantage. Like, I know where he's at. Gain those brownie points is a little bit more.
Well, you were all absolutely fantastic, and I hope everybody who was watching this had just as much fun as we had, and trying to work out what the fuck are the motives of these people. So let us go around once more and do the whole who am I and all that social media googag. That's a new word now. Let us start with Miss Wishbones herself.
Hi everyone, I am Samantha McLarty. I have been Mia Evans, Lasombra extraordinaire. I do things and stuff pretty regularly. I don't know. I'm really bad at outros, guys. Like, I state this all the time. There should be a link somewhere, maybe. I don't know. If not, at JustSMcLarty on social media. That's where you can go. The name on the screen, that thing. But yeah, check that out. I do a lot. I've got a lot of stuff coming up that's going to be airing soon. So follow me on socials if you want to see what I'm going to be doing. And I always post things. So yeah, that's gonna be me. I don't know. Bad at outros again. So next.
We'll move on to the one who killed Mr. Bigface.
all right. Hey everybody. My name is Brandon. I go by the DMB on all of the interwebs. I am the co-owner here at the Bards Playhouse, schedule master, technical director, multiple other roles and
Does
things like
things.
that. Yeah, I do things and stuff, and I wear hats, but don't actually wear hats. So I have been Stan Efford, your goodest boy Gangrel, and same thing as Sam. Just follow me on my Twitter at the DMB__. You will see anything that I have going on come across the screen there. Also follow us on Twitter at Bards Playhouse and on TikTok. We are on TikTok now. For those of you that TikTok, please give us follows. We appreciate it.
Yes, go and do that. They're wonderful, beautiful people, but I'm a tad bit biased, so take that with a pinch of salt. Next, let us move on to the sassiest Zemitzi I have ever encountered.
I try. Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm Emma. You can find me on Twitter at Warus, as it says under the thing. But also, you can find me at twitch.tv/Serasent. That's SERASENT, and there's a reason I took the fangs out before trying to say that. Where, after 3 months of tech-related hiatus, I have a machine that works again, and we are back Tuesday, 9 a.m. Eastern. It'll be great now that I play video games and my hair won't be trying to escape. Yeah.
Everyone come join the hydration cult, gang.
I just want to say you look fantastic today, so.
You all look fantastic. So yes,
For real.
spam
Everybody
those
did.
water bottles in the chat. Let's move on to our wonderful Pander. And that's Pander rather than Panda the bear, although they're just as cute. Who are you?
Hi, everybody. I'm Dustin Fletcher. You can find me at D4DustinF on all social medias. You can catch me every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as I am one of the codiums for D4. We are in an in-studio 5th edition D&D stream that is heavily immersive, heavily emotional, and we custom build all of our terrain for all of our encounters. Come check us out. Our cast is incredible. They're some of the best of the best. I'm also Cirrus on ATL by night for some more vampire shenanigans, where my Banu Hakim, now Caitiff, sees the world as Muppets. So, it's good. It's lots of fun. Lots and lots
beautiful.
of fun. But yeah, that's me. Catch me on socials. D4 D&D RPG is where you can find D4. That's me.
Waka waka. If you know, you know.
And let us move on to the Ventru, whose priorities are in the wrong places.
I mean,
Not
I thought
all
my
of us.
priorities were in the right places, personally. Hey, everybody, I am Sarah. I was Eugenia tonight. First of all, thank you so much for having me on for another VTM game. This was a lot of fun. You can find me all over the internet as the Hype Goblin, bringing my TTRPG characters to life via cosplay and oftentimes thirst trapping my friends and castmates. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can find me on my own Twitch channel playing video games. Occasionally on Wednesdays, you can find me here playing Paris, the Toreador Primogen, in Sin City by night. Sunday morning at 10 a.m. EST, I play Lucy, the Changeling Wizard Warlock, in Nexus Adventures, a 5e D&D homebrew campaign. And on Sunday nights at 10 p.m., I'm currently in a Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign, playing my Mushroom Spore Druid, Lowry Moon. And on April 20th, the final of 3 episodes, May 4th, the final of 3 episodes of The Secret of Skyhorn Lighthouse, I will be with Tabletop Bob on Twitch and YouTube, playing Trust, the most dependable and trustworthy tiefling you will ever meet. That's me.
That is a lot of awesome things, and as somebody who's not really into D&D, just a lot of that just went. That's all right. And the last of the players, the Ravnos, whose also priorities are a bit skewered.
If it is okay, I would like to go at the end, good sir.
That's all right. And that leaves yours truly. You may recognize my voice rather than my face. I am the Law by Night podcast guy. I am most known talking about Vampire the Masquerade on the weekly podcast, Law by Night. Whether it's lore dice, bits of character stuff, and character creation guides, how-to guides, book reviews, all in character as if I'm talking to you as Sire, or more recently, a deranged mortal ghost hunter. A weekly podcast, Thursdays at 6 p.m. Each episode goes live on wherever you listen to podcasts. So Spotify, Apple Podcast, my own personal YouTube page, Law by Night, etc., etc. You can find me at Law by Night VTM on Twitter, the same on Instagram, but it's filled with underscores. If you like World of Darkness stuff, recently tickling the butt cheeks of Chronicles of Darkness, talking about disability stuff, autism, and just general bisexual goodness, disaster stuff, I guess, go and follow me there, where I just chat shit. So that is me in a nutshell, and I have been the ST, storyteller, and various NPCs. And now, back to the gorgeous Ravnos.
First and foremost, thank you so much, Jack, for running such a fun, bloody one shot. This has been great. And to all of the players, thank you so much for being a part of this. And the watchers, thank you for sticking around with our shenanigans. We have a merch store. See, Brandon, I didn't forget it. And you can find stuff there. We have all kinds of stuff. I'm Ashley Bard on all social medias. We have a lot of stuff happening on the channel. Tomorrow we're going to be back with our Pathfinder 2e game season 2. We're very excited. I get to bring my wonderful, delightful, non-chaotic bard back. She's going to be queen, y'all. Anyway, then we have Revolt on the Rhine, where you will see not just myself and Brandon, but you will see Jack back here playing a very interesting character. Let's see, what else do we have? On the 11th, we have our Primogen meeting. So you will see our delightful Sarah returning her role for Paris. As normal, we have our Wednesday show, which is Sin City by Night, my V5 game that I'm very proud of and I love so much. But yeah, it's all about that. Follow us on the Bards Playhouse. We have lots of stuff, lots of mayhem, lots of chaos. Remember, take care of one another, check up on your friends. Trans rights are human rights. We love you guys. You're not a critical failure. Your role matters. And we here at the Bards Playhouse love you. And we will see you guys back here for another one shot and a bunch of chaos.
And with that, the curtain closes again on another Bards Playhouse production. Thank you all for joining us and have a wonderful night.
Move along.